Pritzker puts payment to finger on his record Illinois budget. Responsible budgeting is no longer the exception in Illinois. It is the rule.
Chicago aldermen get a first look at information connected to the potential sale of the city's controversial parking meter contract. Plus, federal authorities say they've arrested 5 people in connection with a foiled plot to attack the UFC event at the White House over the weekend. The latest on that coming up from ABC News.
Wall Street ending the day mixed as the U.S. nears an interim peace deal with Iran. The Dow at a fresh record high, up 331 points. The Nasdaq, though, down 308, and the S&P lower by 43. I'm Tom Busby at Bloomberg.
74 degrees, partly sunny skies at 4 o'clock. From ABC News. I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor Prime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The FBI director announced 5 arrests today in connection with a foiled drone attack at the UFC event at the White House Sunday. Sources tell ABC News the alleged plot involved using drones packed with explosives. The suspects across multiple states allegedly used Signal Chat, and the group involved nearly 24 people. ABC News contributor and former FBI profiler Brad Garrett says it raises questions about other possible plots.
We don't know their motivation for doing this, but the point being, could they have something else lined up? It's a long, hot summer. There's a lot of events that occur around the country. Did they have something else planned?
President Trump at the G7 summit says he believes Iran will finalize a memo of understanding this Friday, and it includes Iran not having a nuclear weapon. The terms of the peace deal have not been made public. Senate Leader John Thune says members of Congress need more information. Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling for the president to hold a classified briefing.
Americans need to know how and when this war will truly end. They need to know what's the deal on the Strait of Hormuz, which has caused gas prices to go through the roof.
Severe storms are targeting parts of central Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi again today, raising the risk of more flooding. ABC's Melissa Dunn has more from the Gulf region.
Overall, already in San Antonio, there was flash flooding concerns there. That turned deadly. A woman was trapped in her car, did not survive. So that right now is the kind of danger and concern we're seeing. Over in Houston, where we were, the issue there is, of course, the bayous. That's what controls, essentially, to prevent any flooding in the area. They get filled up more than just half a foot. It can be life-threatening.
In California, dry and hot conditions are the concern. Fire crews are battling a wildfire for a second day in Riverside County. The blaze has charred at least 2,600 acres and is 25% contained. You're listening to ABC News.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only...
What's up, Marietta?
You deserve a partner who gives you...
Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's 4:01. We'll get back to the news real quick. I just want to say, hey, everybody. It's Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. It's 4:01. And you know what I'll say? It's really a nice weather day. It's not humid. It's not too hot. It's warm enough where you can have short sleeves, but you're not doing that crazy, sweating, humid day. So it's a beautiful day. And let's listen to the news. We'll see what we do today. I don't know what we do. It was a crazy night last night. It was a lot. I got a lot to talk about. It was not... We're not going down the good path. That's all I got to say. We're going down the bad path, and hopefully someone can get us on the right path soon. Like I keep saying, we need to have that guy removed from office. There should be some kind of investigation, judge, or some kind of arrest of him and remove him and put somebody in charge of the city. Because right now we're in a bad path. It's going to be a bad summer. So let's listen to the news.
And WBBMNewsRadio.com.
It is 4:03, Tuesday, the 16th day of June. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Fielding. Beautiful afternoon so far. 74 degrees, low humidity, partly sunny skies. Still could get a gusty thunderstorm in parts of the area. We'll keep you posted. Look for highs in the mid-70s. Another round of storms could be on tap tomorrow. The AccuWeather 5-day forecast coming up at 4:15. But first at 4, state leaders say a newly signed budget will make life more affordable for Illinois families, though some in Springfield argue the opposite. WBBM's Andy Dane has both sides of the story.
Responsible budgeting is no longer the exception in Illinois. It is the rule.
Governor Pritzker says affordability was top of mind in crafting the nearly $56 billion budget for 2027.
Working families need relief, and this Illinois budget makes that possible by making housing, education, healthcare, insurance, food, and other necessities more affordable and accessible. And it puts money back into people's pockets.
It also includes pauses to the state's motor fuel tax increase, as well as sales taxes on back-to-school supplies. Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton.
In Illinois, we are doing everything we can to provide some relief and ease the pain inflicted by a president who told us just days ago that he, quote, loves the inflation. Well, you deserve better.
House Minority Leader Tony McCombie says the budget puts government growth over affordability.
He chose more spending and more pressure on family budgets instead of pursuing property tax relief, energy affordability, and economic growth.
Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Chicago aldermen say they're finally getting a look at information tied to a possible sale of the city's controversial parking meter contract. But Mayor Johnson won't say whether he approves. The investor group that owns the rights to Chicago's parking meter revenue wants to sell its contract to a private equity group, but there's a provision that says the city council must vote on that sale. The mayor told reporters at City Hall that aldermen have the final say on whether the contract can change hands, and he's not saying whether he approves of that deal or not.
The city council has the responsibility to do their due diligence. As far as support is concerned, it's why we initiated this process with as much expediency. The time frame in which the city council has to look over the measure, they should be as thorough as they possibly can.
Aldermen are also working with lawyers to see what, if any, ability the city council has to force changes in the contract. The city council hearing is set for the end of the month. Joliet police combing through evidence, searching for a gunman wanted for shooting 2 people yesterday.
It was about 4 p.m. when police responded to a shooting outside the Riverwalk Homes Apartments on the 300 block of North Broadway. There were 2 victims, both 27, a man and a woman. She was shot in the groin. He was shot in the right arm. Nothing life-threatening, police say. They learned there had been a verbal altercation with another man. He shot them before fleeing in a car. They know who he is. They located the car and searched a residence. Police say a security guard at the apartment complex also discharged his weapon when he encountered the armed man just after the initial shooting. There were no other injuries. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Police asking for the public's help to find 3 suspects wanted in connection to a CTA Blue Line stop attack. They say 3 men beat up a 49-year-old man at the Washington Street platform in the Dearborn Street subway last week. The trio described as 3 black young adults between the ages of 15 and 23 years old, about 5'10". They were all wearing white T-shirts with black jeans. So far, nobody in custody. A Northwest Indiana fire chief is warning people about the dangers of carbon monoxide poisoning after 2 deaths reported over the weekend.
Portage, Indiana Fire Chief Chris Crail says 2 people were discovered deceased Saturday morning after running a generator due to the power outages. Preliminary information suggests the generator was located too close to the home beneath a window-mounted air conditioning unit. The victims' identities have not been released, but both have been confirmed to be adults. Chief Crail says the circumstances surrounding the incident remain under investigation. Glenn Marshall, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
It is 4:08 now. Time to check in on the roads. We do it every 10 minutes. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. And here's Neil Fiorito.
Yep, we have a real mess in spots, too, Lee. So we'll start on the Kennedy outbound at Fullerton. Crash there in the left lane. Sounds like IDOT is on the scene there, and that's why you're really heavy leaving the Jane Byrne interchange again to Fullerton, where the left lane is closed. 40 minutes to Montrose, almost an hour to the airport. Get the express lanes if you can. Save yourself about 5 minutes. Heavy traffic inbound from Cumberland to the Wintrust Mural near North Avenue. You stay pretty heavy into the Jane Byrne interchange. 1 hour in from O'Hare and 30 minutes off the junction. Sounds like crews are en route to a rollover crash on I-57. Yes, outbound, they are there past 159th Street. 2 left lanes are blocked. You have 27 minutes to drive out to I-80.
Doing great, Marietta. Thanks for asking.
A couple of issues on the tollways clearing up along the Tri-State Southbound. Past the Mile-Long Bridge, crash coming up now on the left shoulder. All lanes open there near the Mile-Long Bridge. Jammed up. Southbound past Ogden to the scene. Pretty big delays continue on I-88, the Ronald Reagan Tollway eastbound from Farnsworth to Eola. Crash cleanup there on the right shoulder. Lanes are open. You do have a Gapers delay. Stuff to see as you're driving by westbound from Winfield Road over to Eola. Looking at a crash declared in Joliet on I-80 eastbound at Center. Traffic remains really heavy from Humboldt Road. A delay westbound along I-80 passing US 30 over to Larkin. In northwest Indiana, some traffic on 8094 westbound from Ripley over to Kennedy Avenue. We have some delays to expect in the area of Hyde Park. Closures for the Obama Presidential Center opening up, and that goes until Friday. These closures here, a couple of them, Stony Island between 57th and 63rd, and then Cornell Drive between 57th and Stony Island. You can use Woodlawn as an alternate. From the Metro Traffic Center, next report, 418 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
All right, Neil, thanks. Bright sunshine right now, pleasant, with a high of 75. We do have a gusty thunderstorm in the forecast. It could be upon us in the afternoon. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 57. Breezy and cooler tomorrow, periods of rain and heavier thunderstorms, especially from late morning on. Keep it tuned here for all your weather needs. A high tomorrow of only 66. Right now we have 74 at O'Hare, 72 in Wheeling, 75 Lakefront. The Dow closes above 52,000. Up 328 today. It's 410.
If you look at online reviews for most roofing companies, it isn't pretty. Problems like missed appointments, lack of follow-up, and sloppy workmanship are unfortunately common complaints. Hey, it's Eric. That's not the case when you hire Rogers Roofing. In fact, they make 3 promises to all of their customers. First, they'll respect your time by being on time for appointments, promptly following up, and doing what they say they'll do. Second, you get a perfect roof installed by their highly skilled roofing crews. And finally, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. No other roofing company can offer you a longer, more comprehensive warranty. Over-the-top customer service, a perfect installation, and a 50-year leak-free guarantee. It's easy to see why Rogers has so many 5-star reviews and why they're different from every roofing company in town. Right now, get $500 off a new roof and no interest financing until 2031. Set up your free 21-point roof inspection, 872-224-4345, or online at rogersroofing.com.
It is 4:11. 2 months after a federal appellate court ordered that former CEO of ComEd and a lobbyist be released from prison, the court is now saying there's compelling evidence to retry them.
The 7th Circuit officially vacated the convictions of former ComEd CEO Ann Previsori and lobbyist Michael McLean, but said federal prosecutors presented significant and compelling evidence in the case. They were convicted in a scheme to influence ex-Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan for favorable legislation. Rejecting calls for acquittal, the judges clarified they're not saying the pair is innocent, only that their previous convictions were legally insufficient. U.S. Attorney Andrew Boutros noted a properly instructed jury could convict and said his office will let the court know if they will retry the case. Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A cash reward being offered to police catch the vandal who defaced a mural that honors fallen CPD officers.
Cook County Crime Stoppers is behind the $1,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the person or persons who spray painted graffiti over part of the mural, which is located in the 6800 block of South Pulaski in the West Lawn neighborhood. The mural includes depictions of officers Luis Huesca, Andres Vasquez Lasso, and Enrique Martinez, who were all killed in the line of duty. Crime Stoppers says tips can be submitted anonymously by calling 1-800-535-STOP or online at cpdtip.com. My Martinez, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The official portrait of Barack and Michelle Obama was unveiled ahead of the Presidential Center's opening this week.
The piece is the first official painted portrait of former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama together. It combines photos from family albums and historic moments captured by the media. Its unveiling for the Obamas was captured on video shared by the Obama Foundation.
My only real question is, how come you didn't dye my hair in the photo? Don't they usually touch it up a little bit?
I thought about it. The artwork, titled The Obamas Springing Forth 2026, was painted by Njudike Akunyili Crosby.
It was so challenging because it made me push myself. It took me out of my comfort zone.
Well, it looks fantastic.
The painting will be hung in the museum's Hope and Change lobby. Carolina Gayribe, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber?
Alrighty, there we go.
And get this. What if you could...
Thanks for tuning in. You're watching SubX.News on the spot reporting. That's how we do our stuff, right? Whereas Martin G. Johnson, one of the first guys I used to watch. That's the guy I used to watch. And then I forget what's his name on My Life in Shy. Sorry, my brother, I keep forgetting your name. My Life in Shy. Those are the 2 guys I used to watch before I did any of this type of work. I've done live feeding, but not this type of live feeding. And Martin G. Johnson, live, uncut, unedited. I used to watch that all the time, religiously. My Life in Shy. I used to watch that religiously and just watch and listen and see how to talk about what we see. And that's what I do, right? That's why I call it on-the-spot reporting, because we report what we see. Do we know all the facts? No. Are we biased? Yes. Do we get grumpy and this and this? Absolutely. Do we like things? Do we don't like things? Absolutely. We're just a regular dude in a truck driving around live feeding. That's what we're doing. We ain't nothing special. We've been doing reporting for about 20 years, but this we've been doing for about 4 now. We're going on our 4th year. I guess the reason I said that is there's so much stuff going on now. Murders are off the charts. We're 8% up year to year, but we're 67% from week to week, and I think we're in the 20 or 30% month to month. So we're beyond low now. That's it. And just to think of it this way, if we're 8% higher than last year, so think about this. If we're 8% higher than last year in our murder rate, and let's say the murder rate was from that year, from the previous year was down, I don't know, 5 or 10, whatever it is. There's ways these mathematicians do this. It's not just apples to apples. So if you're up 8% this year, and last year you were down or up certain percent, whatever, you got to extrapolate that. It's called regression, doing regression formulas. And then you add all these other factors in, but we might be up higher than 8%. That just looking at straight facts. That's not putting anything else into the regression analysis. And I got an old computer, so it can't do it. I have lots of data in my computer already, and I talked to somebody to help me about 6 or 7 months ago, and they couldn't find any. But you need like a mathematician with a nice, clean computer. It's got to be really clean, really fast, where it just does that. You can't have no pictures, no videos, none of that stuff. It has to just compute numbers. You have to have a big memory. I don't have that, so I don't know if I'm going to buy a new computer or if I'm going to pay somebody to do it. I used to pay people in the old days to run my numbers for me, the big numbers, and then I'll do a report. The reason I'm saying this is this. I'm going to issue a big report soon. I did it 2 years ago, and I'm coming out with some more, and I think we're going to have some numbers that are shocking. That might be close to genocide. That's how shocking the numbers are. Genocide meaning that a certain group is being killed off in Chicago. You know how I talk, I say it's purposely for gentrification or whatever it is, and I don't understand why it would be from a black mayor doing that to his own race. I don't understand that, right? You would want to do stuff to protect your race, right? And if you like this, I always compare it to the cigarette thing or the seatbelt thing. If you know cigarettes are bad, then you stop it. If you know you need seatbelts in the car, then you pass laws to protect people from. Everybody knows why the seatbelts were invented, right? In cars, because that was in the 50s. The greasers, right? James Dean crashes. People would go out the front windshield. There was lots of them. A lot of young teenagers were dying. So what did they do? They went through all these studies and they said, we need to do these seatbelts. The first seatbelts was the lap ones, and then you have the shoulder ones now. But that's where seatbelts came from. And then what did we do? We did the whole anti-smoking thing, and we did all these lawsuits and all. And now what? 20 years later, after all those lawsuits, what? They're saying smoking is down. But here's the problem with that. Vaping is up. Vaping is up, smoking is down. So you have to look at the stats, right? You got to see if it's a baseline, right? I'm doing a lot of stat talking. Sorry about that. But I guess the reason I'm saying all of that, with the kids there begging, right? The reason I'm saying all of that is this. We're in a bad spot in the city. Yesterday there was a murder right here. I showed you guys that, right? I put it up last night. I seen the tape here. I've seen it when I was down here, right? I didn't stop at the scene, but it is what it is. I was one of the first guys to start reporting the murder over here. It was shooting. I didn't know what it was. You know, I don't have access to the police department and whatever they would give me. They don't even want to respond to my emails no more. That's how they are. So yeah, I'm gonna have to do a FOIA request about all my emails that I sent them the last week because they're refusing to talk to me now, I guess. There you go, man. Right there. It's right there. It's right there. It's all over in our city. Don't you see that there? See that there? It's right there. It's not even funny anymore. See that there? Right there. So this is our downtown. It's 4 o'clock. We have a mayor that talks about investing in black businesses and black isn't crime and whatever he said yesterday on the radio, and then you see this. I don't know if it's a black person, it's a white person, I don't know what that is. But he's always talking about the people who've been disenfranchised, his brother who died on the streets, right? And this is what you got, right? That's what you have every day, or that's what you see, right? There you go. It's 4:19 p.m. It's a Tuesday afternoon, June 16th, 2026. There you go, man. That's what you got in our city. You see that there? There you go, right? We're on. What are we on? This is, I don't know what we're on. On Whacker here. This is Upper Whacker, I think, here, right? Or not? Oh, let me check what street I'm on, right? But that's what you see there, right? It's not a joke, right? So that the reason I stop here is this, for this simple reason, right? Let's see where we at. Oh, my phone ain't working, blah, 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 blah. All this don't work no more right here. Let's see, South Shore Club. Well, that's too far north. That's too far south. So we're on, yeah, we're on Whacker. I was right. So we are. We're on Upper Whacker there. You see that there? There's a guy sleeping right there. It's 4:20. There's people walking all around. We're in the middle of our downtown here. You see that there? We're in a fancy hotel there. See the Hotel Garden Inn Plaza? And you got guys sleeping there. So why isn't the city taking care of this? Where is the people that should be taking care of this, whatever it is? I'm not criminalizing it. I'm saying, but is it appropriate for people to be sleeping on sidewalks in your business district? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But there you go. The city allows it. SubX.News. That's the time. Right? The city allows that. The thing about this, Tyrone, I'm not criminalizing the dude sleeping there. I'm not saying he should be locked up. But I think there's rules against sleeping on sidewalks in your commercial business district. One, it's unsafe. It's unsafe. It's unsafe. You can talk about tripping hazard, right? But it's unsafe. It's unsafe for the pedestrians. It's unsafe for him. But yet the city allows it. Where is whoever is supposed to take care of this? Where is anybody? The police or welcoming people? Is there anybody here that takes care of this? Is there anyone whose job it is? I think there is, isn't there? Right? Don't we pay somebody in the city to take care of this? And is it okay to be sleeping on a city sidewalk in your commercial district? I don't think it is, but yet we don't have it being taken care of. Yet we continue to pay taxes. 4:20 p.m., June 16th, 2026. Whacker and Wabash. Don't we have somebody? Don't we pay people to do this? The idea is this. I'm not trying to say this is a bad guy here. I'm saying see those people looking at him? See that lady looking at him? So here she's on vacation with her family, right? She's staying in a hotel, right? Spending lots of money. These are expensive hotels here, $300 or $400. Imagine this. That's a hotel that you're spending $300 to $400 a night to stay in. You come to visit the city, and that's what you see there. It's like purposeful. It's like the mayor is purposefully destroying our city, harming our city. It's purposeful. It's intentional. Go help. Go help. What do you want me to do, Diamond? What do you want me to do, Diamond? What do you want me to do? Tell me what you want me to do. I'm a reporter. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Tell me, what do you want me to do? Tell me exactly what you want me to do. I'll do it live on the camera. Tell me what you want me to do, Diamond. You got a big mouth, Diamond. Tell me what you want me to do. You want me to put him in my car? I'll drop him off at your house. How about I do that, Diamond? How about I wake the dude up, put him in my car, and I drop him off at your house? Well, let's do that, Diamond. Why don't you give us your address and your phone number right here live? Come on, Diamond. You got a big mouth, Diamond. You got an extremely big mouth. That's who you are. You're a big mouth scum. See you later. No, don't get on my page, scumbag. Get out of here, scum. There you go. There you go. Anybody else have a big mouth? Go help him. What am I gonna do? Put him in my car or do what? That's the scum. That's the scum that steals from that scumbag, Diamond Hicks. She probably works for the government. One, or her husband or somebody who works for the government, and they're the scumbags that it's supposed to be doing that stuff. That's the scum. That's the scum that does this. I'm showing you what should be done. I'm not saying what should be done. There should be some, here, these people are walking by. They got all gifts for them in the hotel. You see these people? Some scumbag says, go help him. Really? So what, every derelict and every bum that I see in my live feed, I should help 50 to 60 of them. It's kind of virtue signaling scum, right? That's one of those pop-in assholes. I call them pop-in assholes. They pop in on your thing and they start making stupid comments. That's a pop-in asshole. That's what we're going to call them. Pop-in asshole. That's what that is. Got it? There ain't nobody out here. I'll go tell a cop. I said, there's a guy sleeping on the street. Go help him out. That's how they are. They come on your page and tell you what you should be doing. Scumbags. And they're probably making money off that. Look at that. Everybody looks at the guy, right? Don't you see that? Pop-in assholes. That's what we're going to call them. They are pop-in asshole. I'm going to have some mark or something to mark them, right? Pop-in assholes. Go take care of it. Go help them. Oh, I'm out of here, man. I'm spending my time talking. I don't want to talk about some dude sleeping on the sidewalk. I'd rather go talk about the river walk. Talk about my dinner. I'd rather talk about the sunset. I'd rather talk about my children, how they're doing good in their jobs. I want to talk about what I want to do in my retirement. That's what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about some bum on the street and no one's helping them because we're paying $30 to $40 billion in taxes in the city and no one's doing their job. I ain't my dad. You think I want to do that? Yeah. Yeah. And here's the problem, Isidore. We pay people to take care of this. No one's taking care of it. That's the bigger problem. That guy's doing whatever he's doing there. It's his thing, right? Whatever issues that man has. But we pay people. We physically pay people in the city, the county, and the state, and the Fed government to take care of that. And there's a lot of NGOs. Oh, I forgot. The NGOs are giving out pipes and needles on the train so you can stay addicted, right? I forgot about that one. Yeah. Getting me going, Diamond. That was a wrong move talking that stupid stuff to me. Go help him. Go help him. Yeah, like that. Like there's people looking out the window. There's a guy right there. So I should help him. Yet there's a guy sitting right there, right? See those two there? They're not even 20 feet away. See that there? 20 feet. You know, why don't you think they're doing it? Why don't you think those two people are taking care of that? They're not more than 20 feet away. Why? Because they know the police and the city don't do nothing about it. That's why. It's right there. They're right there. That's what? You want to see how close that is? What is that, 20 feet? 20 feet. There's full-time employees there. Why do you think they don't do nothing about it? Because they know the police, the city, and all them laugh at us. Everybody laughs at us because there's people like Diamond who get on your internet, getting on the internet saying it's my fault. It's my fault that guy. So somehow Diamond says it's my fault that guy's sleeping there. Instead of saying, wait, where's all of our services that's supposed to help that guy, right? Where is the services? Where is the money that we pay every day, every second? while I'm doing this live feed now, they want to charge that bill they just passed, the budget. They're going to charge internet now. Everybody knows that they're charging the internet in Illinois, social media tax. Who do you think is going to have to pay for that? All this free stuff that we get? You know, it's not free to get our algorithms and our information. Do you know Governor Pritzker signed the law? They're going to charge the internet now in Illinois. Did you know that? He says we're going to make it easier for the citizens. You just passed the internet law. Yeah, wait. We're the only, I think we're one of the only cities or municipalities in the whole, wherever, that charges that. We're going to charge a social media tax. Yes. And then you got people like Diamond get on and say, it's my fault that dude's laying there and I should take care of it. Really? And a bunch of dudes sitting right there. All right, let's go around. Fucking scumbags. Fucking scumbag. That's a scumbag. That's the person who steals your money. Right there. Pop-up asshole. They're making money. They make money off of that. That's the 100,000 or so employees and staff and family members. Might be 200,000 of family members of this city and NGOs that are making money off the misery of others, and then they blame us. They blame you. They say it's the church. They say it's parenting. They say it's the neighborhood. They say it's a certain race. They say it's a certain religion. Look at that guy who just burned their cross, right? And let's listen to the news. Let's listen to the news before I get too wacky. 4:30 News.
Stocks are mixed as oil tumbles ahead of a U.S.-Iran peace deal. The Dow at a fresh record high of 331 points. The Nasdaq down 308, and the S&P lost 43.
74 degrees at 4:31. The news continues, sponsored by Menards. Chicago police say they have made an arrest in connection to that disturbing discovery in Grant Park last week. WBBM's Andy Dane brings us the latest update.
Chicago fire officials responded near Columbus and Balbo Drives last Tuesday afternoon and found a burning cross. Surveillance photos were released of a suspect fleeing the scene, described by Chicago police as a person of interest. Authorities now say an arrest has been made, though no formal charges have been announced. It comes after Channel 5 released an interview with a man who claims responsibility for the incident. He says the burning cross was not intended to be a hate crime of any kind, but instead a condemnation of President Trump and what he calls MAGA Christian nationalist supporters and the ruling class. He also claims he did not know burning crosses are often linked to racial hatred. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A busy stretch of Uptown was the scene of two shootings last night. One shooting left a 63-year-old man dead. Another involved a Chicago police officer.
Corey Haynes was watching TV in his apartment when he was jolted by a sound.
Never really heard a gunshot, even in Chicago, so I was a little like, what the fuck? So yeah, then I saw the guy running, and they're like, he had the gun in his right hand, and then the cops are like, stop, we'll shoot. And he turned, and then boom, boom, I heard a couple booms, and that was it.
Police say officers responding to a deadly shooting near Lawrence and Clark just before 8:30 chased the suspect as he was running here near Argyle and Jansen. Police say he turned his gun towards them and they shot him. He went to the hospital in critical condition. Police say they recovered a weapon. 3 officers have been assigned desk duty as COPA investigates. In Uptown, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Governor Pritzker signs a record $56 million budget for 2027. It raises hundreds of millions in new taxes. However, it focuses on businesses, social media, fantasy sports, and digital assets. He says affordability was top of mind when he was crafting it.
This is a budget that helps Illinoisans who are struggling with the costs of groceries, housing, and energy. It's a budget that helps Illinoisans looking to get a job, buy a home, start a family, pursue their education, launch a business. This is a budget for Illinois' future.
As for critics of the budget, House Minority Leader Tony McCombie said in part that Pritzker chose more spending and more pressure on family budgets instead of pursuing property tax relief, energy, affordability, and economic growth. A Catholic school in the southwest suburbs says it will not reopen this fall.
Queen of Martyrs Elementary School in Evergreen Park has served families in the area for more than 70 years. But the Archdiocese of Chicago announced that the school will not reopen for the 2026-2027 school year because of a significant decline in projected enrollment, which has left the school without the resources needed to sustain operations into the future. According to the Archdiocese, enrollment was expected to drop to about 140 students for the upcoming school year. year. That's down from 178 this past school year and more than 325 students in 2016. Carolina Delibbe, News Radio 105.9.
With your news roll and news from around the world now, Iran says the tentative deal to end the war with the U.S. would require Israel to withdraw from Lebanon. That's a condition Israel has already rejected. At the same time, President Trump continued to tout the agreement while meeting with world leaders today in the French Alps.
President Trump today, during a meeting with the Emir of Qatar on the sidelines of the G7 World Leaders Summit, called the agreement between the U.S. and Iran, quote, fair and good. But he provided no new details of what's in the agreement, nor provided any timeline on when the text would be released. The president claimed that negotiations over Iran's nuclear program, to be addressed in this 60-day negotiating window, will be, quote, actually easier than getting to this point. Karen Travers, ABC News, Geneva, Switzerland.
More oversight duties being moved out of the Department of Education.
The Trump administration is moving oversight of special education and civil rights out of the Education Department and to other agencies. The Department of Justice will handle enforcement of civil rights, while the Department of Health and Human Services will oversee special education. The Department of Justice will also take over work protecting student privacy. Trump campaigned on shutting down the Education Department and moving education back to the states. Legally, only Congress can close the Education Department. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
And Sean Penn will direct a film about the early life of a cop who was present for the January 6th storming of the U.S. Capitol. Bradley Cooper is being eyed for the lead role, though the real-life inspiration for the film has yet to be identified. That's according to Variety, which also reports that insiders insist the film is not really about January 6th and is only slightly related to the attacks. Production for the untitled film is hoping to start in mid-2027. Coming up in a minute, so look at your low gas prices, traffic, and weather together next.
4:35. If you're just tuning in, we're listening to the rest of the local news. But you hear, he says, think about how they lie to you. They say, oh, we made a good budget. And first of all, they didn't do no cutting. There's people, did that budget help that person digging through the garbage right there? See that person digging through the garbage right there? See that there? See that there? You want to see the next thing right down there? Watch this. Plywood special. They're starting to smash into that store. Plywood. See that there? Look at the empty spaces. Miller's Pub. It's empty around here. There's no cabs, no taxis. It's empty around here. He says he passes a budget, but he increased spending. He increased taxes. He didn't make it good for you and me. He made it good for him and his buddies and the unions, right? I'm a union guy. I believe in unionism. Right? But when you're corrupt, you're corrupt. Right? There you go. Look at those guys sitting there. Did he make it good for those guys sitting there selling drugs? See them doing drugs right there? They're drug addicts right there. Look at that. You want to see the drug addicts? Did the budget fix that? I don't think it did. Because they're doing drugs and drug addicts right there in front of you, man. That's what that is. You're watching drugs, drug addicts, drug dealing, drug buying. It's right there. I told you, by all the convenience stores.
This gas for $3.99
right there.
a gallon in Barrington.
Did the governor's budget fix it? Absolutely it didn't. And think about it. He increased spending, so he says he's taking care of that, but he's not taking care of it.
Someone that wants to do better.
Former Alderman George Cardenas wants to be the next mayor of Chicago.
That's right, coming up. But first, it's time for traffic, sponsored this time by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Sewer, and
all over there, man. There's a bunch of guys sitting out here selling drugs. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm going to turn around. We're going to go down that block. I'm going to show you. There's a whole bunch of dudes sitting there. They're all selling drugs out there.
A rollover crash clearing on 57
what you got? Drug dealing right there in our downtown. Laying on the ground, drug dealing, closed stores. What is that stuff? Oh, we're doing a good budget for you. Yeah. For who? For me? You didn't do it for me. You didn't do it for the viewers. I'm pretty sure that budget ain't... It might have for Diamond, whatever her name was. I think for Diamond it's good for her. That's why she has to say, yeah, I'm a bad guy, right? it's my fault that that dude was homeless. I don't think so, man. I ain't putting up with that no more. I ain't no more, man. You don't do that virtue signaling crap on my page, man. You go take care. I'll pick up the guy. If you give me your address and your phone number, I'll drop him off at your place. That's okay with me. Right? I don't mind it. I'll drop off any drug addict or homeless person. I'll put him in my car. I'll drop him off at your house. Give me your address and your phone number. No problem. That's what I'll do. I'll do that. That's going to be my new thing. These guys, the pop-in assholes, they get on my page. What's your phone number? What's your address? Or I'll do a back trace of their profiles. I'll put the drug addict and drunken and the homeless guy into my truck. I give them $5 and I said, see that person? They said you can stay at their house because they invited you there through my phone, through the internet. I said they want to help you. And they said if John drops you off, then you're going to live with them. That's what I'm going to say from now on. That's how we're going to take care of these pop-in assholes. That's my every time these guys say that I should be helping them, that's my volunteerism. Put them in the car and drop them off at their house. I bet you that person don't even live in Chicago. Most of those people. They're probably a Russian or a Chinese spy. Pretending, right? They're Chinese spies, man. You gotta watch out for those people. They're weirdos. Alright, we're gonna check this out here, right? The drug dealing and drug addiction right here in downtown, right?
On the market watch, the Dow up 328. The Dow closes above 52,000.
There's a whole bunch of people out here. You'll see in a second. Look, that store is closed right there, right across from the museum. That's Route 66, the first stop.
George Cardenas, commissioner on the Cook County Board of Review,
Look at this, empty on both streets.
Race for Chicago's mayor.
They're chanting George on the 6th floor of a manufacturing company across the street from McKinley Park in the 12th Ward, where Cardenas served as alderman for nearly 20 years. Now he wants to occupy the 5th floor at City Hall.
Billions in uncollected debt, while taxpayers are being asked for more and more. It is a management problem. It is a governance problem. A competence problem.
Cardenas said part of his focus on public safety will be what he calls paid parenting participation for structured engagement, paying parents for involvement without specifics so far. In McKinley Park, Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A teen is dead after an early morning crash involving an e-bike in the northwest suburbs.
A 19-year-old was killed Tuesday morning after his e-bike was involved in a crash with a vehicle.
Yeah, that's about the murder.
It happened around 6:30 near the intersection of Belmont and George Street. The 19-year-old was taken.
See these guys over here? Look at these guys. There's a guy sitting there. There's a guy sitting there. Every store has somebody sitting in front of it. Don't you see that there? You see that there? Look.
News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Every store. What are they doing there?
Thanks to medical advances and public health efforts, there's no.
What are they doing on the milk crate? What is that?
Mortality in the U.S. dropping to a new all-time low last year to below 5.4 deaths per 1,000 live births. That's considered a significant decline from about 5.5 in 2024 and 5.6 per 1,000 live births in the 2 preceding years, translating to hundreds of fewer infant deaths per year. The CDC posted the data in late May, but Tuesday issued an in-depth analysis. While the U.S. rate has gone down over the decades, it has remained higher than other high-income countries, which experts attribute to poverty, inadequate parental care, and other problems. I'm Julie Wall.
It is 4:42.
Gas prices are higher than ever, and every penny counts at the pump. For years, WBBM News Radio has been watching gas prices so you don't have to. We're constantly tracking the lowest prices across the Chicago area. Our reporters, traffic team, and listeners work together to find the best deals near you. Listen for lowest gas prices day and night at about 37 minutes past the hour.
Is it better, Mizidor? Sorry I didn't see that message. They sit there in their cars, not doing bullshit.
Plus. Retail chains, streamers, even our phones come with Plus. And to think it all started with Hassellus Mattress, because nobody has more Plus than us. Right now at Hassellus, get a Queen Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove A mattress. Others sell it.
Imagine you raise taxes, you raise the budget, you increase the budget, you do no cuts, and you say that's good for the regular citizen. It ain't good for the regular citizen if the government keeps taking more and spending more. And then he boasts that's the biggest budget in history. That's absurd. That's a maniac that's stealing our money. That's a maniac. He's maniacal. Imagine that he boasted it's the biggest budget in Illinois history because he increased it. That's not how you fix a budget. You decrease your... Everybody knows not how you fix your budget at home. You decrease the budget, right? You decrease your spending, you save your money and go on a vacation. You want a steak dinner, you save your money for a couple of weeks, you go to your steak dinner. You want a car, you save your money for a year or two, you buy a nice car. That's how you do it. You don't spend more, you spend less. What an idiot. He thinks everybody's a buffoon. He thinks everybody's an idiot. He can just lie to anybody, right? He thinks he's the Chicago Teachers Union. He can lie to anybody, right? That's how they operate, right? They think they can just lie and cheat right into your face. Saying, oh yeah, I increased the budget so it's better for every citizen. Like, huh? What? Oh, wait, that means you're taking more from me. Yeah, budgets are taxpayer funded. They're not. They're not. Yeah, they come from us. And businesses are taxpayers. Businesses are businesses. Right? Even if it's a corporation, that's a business. That means the money's coming out of the business. That means they have to raise their prices, right? That's the point. What a bizarre human being that man is. He must be on drugs or something. He must be on some whack juice, man. Wacko juice. To lie like that. That's going to be tomorrow's headline. Tomorrow's headline, everybody. Wacko juice. Trina's like, yeah, anyway, you increase the budget and you say it's good for us. Like, wait, the budget gets increased from us. We pay for it. That's us. You stole more money. That's wacko juice. He must be on whack juice. He's whack. Maybe he's doing this fentanyl. Maybe he's making a deal with the Chinese, making this fentanyl crap and selling it here. I think he owns a couple of those chemical companies that they make the fentanyl, right? Whack juice. Tomorrow's headline, whack juice. JB on whack juice. That's what we're going to call it. JB on whack juice. Right? The increased budget. This is the headline. I'm putting it into the video. That way I remember. Because, look, by the time it's 1 in the morning and I'm writing this, I will not remember what I said at 4:45. And some of when I go through the notes and go through the videos and see what I said, I say, oh, man, I probably shouldn't have said that stuff, man. But, hey, that's the way it goes. Live, uncut, unedited. Right, Margie Johnson? I love you, my brother. I don't know if you like me because I'm a blue-eyed, what am I? What was the blue-eyed monster? What do they call white people? Trina, I'm the blue-eyed monster, right? Or the devil, the blue-eyed devil. I love Margie Johnson. Used to call white people the blue-eyed devil. I just don't know what they say. That's all right, man. I made my peace with God, so I'm good. And I don't think the devil likes me, by the way. So I've seen the devil a few times. Say, man, I like you. And the devil said, nah, I don't like you. You're a little rough for me. Rena, he needs money management. Imagine that. It's the best budget ever. It's the biggest budget ever. No cuts. Added program. It says, that's good for you. Like, wait. Wild, man. That's wild. You know what I mean? They got all kinds of people walking around looking at people's cars, man. They got all kinds of people out there picking up stuff from the curb there. Drugs. And it's wild out here, man. Alrighty, we're gonna go walk around here, right? We should put on some radio calls. I don't talk too much, right? But that's what we're gonna talk about. The whack job JB, man. There's all kinds of people doing drugs all around here. They're walking around doing drugs, smoking weed all around here, all around. It's all you smell and all you see. There's no enforcement. There's zero enforcement down here. I don't even know where. We just had a murder at Grand Park. We just had somebody murdered here. We just had somebody murdered, what, 2 blocks from here. Did they even talk about? The devil is... you know what I'm talking about. Who are we? Where are we? I don't know. We're you know what? I think we're in, I don't know. Let's see. We're in Nairobi, maybe. I don't know where we're at. We're in Kimbasa. We're in Kimbasa. That's where we're at. Nah. Why don't we pick Uzbekistan or Mumbai? We're in Mumbai. There we are. It says it right on the top of the screen there, man. Where are we? You remind me of the students that I used to teach. The bell would ring, we'd start doing our work. You remind me of the person who comes into the class after 5 or 10 minutes after the bell rang, starts saying, what are we doing? I don't know. What am I doing? I guess I'm just driving around talking about Chicago. That's what I'm doing. So that's where we're at. Chicago. It says it on the title. And we're in the middle here. You should, if you know anything about Chicago, you'd see it, right? And you hear me talking about it. So now we listen to some radio calls. Let's see what's going on. We didn't hear about the shooting and the homicide in Grant Park. That's the first thing. We're going to see if it comes up on the 5 o'clock news. We did hear the shooting up on the north side, but we didn't hear nothing about the Grant Park shooting. You got to keep track of these things, right? You got to see why doesn't they do it, right? And the Grant Park shooting, if you read the story we put up, and we were the first ones to report it last night. CWB were the first ones to report that but they weren't the first one. They got it from the police comms, which I don't have access to anymore. They said it was a homicide, but all other news agency already said that. But what was interesting, CWB said it's the 6th shooting in the loop this year, and last year there was only 0. So we're increased by 6 times now the amount of shootings that happen downtown. So that actually shows you do you see what I told you about the statistics? You got to look at the baseline. That's what I kind of said earlier. I don't want to talk too much about it. So think about this. Last year, from January until June at this time, there was 0 shootings in downtown. 0. This year, and shootings include the homicides, right? This year, there's already been 6. So that means we're 6 times the number of shootings in downtown. Plus, we're not talking about the stabbings. There's been stabbing homicides in downtown. There was a stabbing down here on State Street. I got that story coming up. I got all the information for that, by the way. That stabbing that happened there, I got it all except one piece I'm waiting for. I got it all already. I got that. I got pictures and everything, too, of all of that stuff that happened. Remember the stabbing that happened? Was that on Friday, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, so we have all of these things going on, and they don't tell the truth. So it's kind of weird. Why don't you say that? I get it. You're the news. You don't say everything. But, I mean, a murder in Grant Park is pretty important, I think. You know, that would be, that's an important story there. But I guess it's not that important for WB. Maybe they'll say it at 5 o'clock. We're listening to 5 o'clock news. That's what we do it, though. But, wacko JB or whatever I'm going to write about tonight. Maybe I'll pull the budget and show where it's increased and not. This is what he should have did. I would have reduced the budget by $10 billion at least. And I would have cut vacant positions. I would have gave buyouts to anybody that's over 50, let them retire and let them have a second job if they want. I would have, I don't know, we don't have this many people going to jail because of the, I don't even know, are they laying off people from the jails? Because we don't send people to jail anymore. Are we laying off jail staff? I don't think we are. You kind of get around going with all of this stuff. There's so many places you can make a lot of money cutting. And then, look, if you cut and that section makes more money, guess what you have now? You have a surplus. So say you cut, and then you have more people going to the jails and you get money reimbursed from the feds or from somebody for the jail, right? Guess what happens? That cut becomes a surplus now. That's how you do budgets now. Everybody understand how to do surplus, right? You lower your spending, you save for a car, and you save so much you got an extra $2,000. Now you can go on a vacation. So not only did you save money to go on what? Oh man, they got somebody under arrest here. Let's take a look at that. There you go. That's the TAC team there. See that? That's the tactical officers. That's a special unit that flies around doing whatever. They're doing something over there. Let's go see what they're doing over there. Oh, they got somebody in custody. There you go. SubX.News. There we go. There you go. Right there, man. Drug dealing or drug use right in downtown. Right there you go, man. SubX.News. There you go. Let's listen to the radio. Maybe we can figure out what this is, right? Let me throw it on a Citizen app. Citizen app might know already, right? So let's throw it on Citizen app. There you go. There's an arrest. Right? They sell drugs out of here, right? That's what you're watching, right? And then we're trying to get on the radio. I'll use this other phone. Oh, I have 3 phones here. SubX is on the spot reporting here. There's an arrest here at the McDonald's, at the Blue Line, right? At Clark and Lake, right? There we go, right? So that's what you're watching, right? SubX.News on the spot reporting. It's 4:53 p.m. There's a person detained at the McDonald's here at Clark and Lake by the Blue Line and the Loop. They usually sell drugs out of this McDonald's here, all around there. This is a big drug corridor here, Lake Street. And this is the tactical team, actually. This is not regular street patrols or beat patrol. These guys are a tactical team. These guys, I think, are assigned to downtown here, so that's what you're watching here. It's 4:55 p.m., June 16th, 2026. Again, downtown Chicago, you got somebody detained here, right? I don't know what it's about, and they might not be under arrest. They might just be detained and in for question. They might be... I'm trying to turn on my police radio here and see if I can hear what this is about. I'm going to put it on Citizen app too and see if we can find out from Citizen app. All right? So if I find out more, I'll tell you guys on Twitter, okay? All right, so we got somebody detained here. It is 4:55 p.m. in downtown Chicago. Person detained over here at Clark and Lake Blue Line McDonald's. This is a known spot for drug dealing here. 4:55 p.m., June 16th, 2026.
Red line, Carlsville and Lake, Lake and Clark. Can we get that number, please? 6-4. Yep, that is 09410. Yeah, boy. 780, boy. Okay, check 79, very long. Yep, that's 09417.
We'll try to get to the radio and try to get you guys what's happening. We'll go backwards in the radio, all right? There you go, there's another. That's the TAC. He's moving the TAC vehicle. See that there? Again, someone detained here by the Clark and Lake Blue Line McDonald's. We're going to try to get to the radio calls of what happened here. I just got to do a few things here, right? Thanks for your patience, everybody. But there you go. We just rolled up on it, right? Again, SubX.News on the spot reporting here. Downtown, someone's detained. A known drug dealing area, right? They got his property already. See that there? We gotta check if they're waiting for transport.
M2, sir. Good afternoon. Good, sir. Can I get to Navy Pier and Jardy? Yeah, Navy Pier is 09441. 09441. Jardine is 09442. 09442.
let's see if I can get some going here. I'm gonna try to backtrack the radio.
All right, 797 David. The zone has it. They have been broadcasting it, but still don't have a car available.
Sounds like they want a car over here, but it's not available. That's what it sounds like here, right? Looks like they're going to move their backpacks and haul them in that thing. You see, that's what they're doing there. They don't have a transport. So part of this story is they don't have a transport car because they divided all the work because they don't have enough staff. So they now have to put their stuff into the back of it, and they're going to haul him themselves. So they don't have a transport here, right? No transport available.
Low voltage. Transport 1-1.
See that? They're looking at got arrested there, right?
Low voltage.
Alright, we're gonna turn. There they are. See, I told you the transport is not available. So that radio call was for here. So they're taking them in the pickup truck, right? That's what they're doing there. See that? Transport is not available. The TAC team is taking him into custody. Into the station. So that's what you see, right? They've divided the work so much and diffused the ranks that they make an arrest and they don't have somebody to transport them. The arrestee to the station. There you go, huh? That guy's on the phone saying that guy's calling on the phone saying that dude just got arrested. See that there? And the guy comes right up with a divvy. Look at that. How fast he comes with a divvy. See, I told you they're doing drug dealing here, didn't I? You see how fast this works here? You're watching drug dealing happening. I told you that. That's drug dealing happening right there, right? It's a drug deal happening right there in front of you. They do it by electronics now. They don't do it by how you think, man. I told you that. You're watching a drug deal happen right in front of you, right? And one guy gets hooked up, gets locked up. Next guy steps in that quick. You see that, how that happened? That's how fast they were. And 5 o'clock news. Let's listen to what's going on. They're going to mention the shooting at Grant Park.
To apply to your job, you get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for.
And that guy blocks the whole sidewalk. Look at that motherfucker right there. So there's a bunch of people. Look, think about how ignorant that guy is on that divvy bike. Look how ignorant he is. It's rush hour, right? He puts his bike right in the middle of the sidewalk. That's how ignorant that man is. See the ignorance of he is? What did we say? That's the culture of selfishness. You see that there? See that? There you go. He's selling some shit. See that there?
News Radio.
He's doing some bullshit there. See that there?
WBBMNewsRadio.com.
5:03 Tuesday, the 16th day of June. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Lisa Fielding. We have partly sunny skies, 74 degrees. Still a chance for a gusty thunderstorm today.
He blocks the whole sidewalk.
Story as far as weather goes, could get
that's how ignorant of a person he is. See that? Look at what he does and throws crap on the sidewalk. See that there?
5, the Johnson administration says Chicago's tax on social media platforms is outperforming expectations, but the money is being set aside for now. WBBM political editor Jeff Buchholz says an update from City Hall.
The Department of Finance has collected $16.4 million.
And City Policy Chief Jung Yoon says that's just
just in the first 4 months of Chicago's tax.
Look at what he's doing. What a scumbag that is. This is the middle of rush hour. Look at how selfish that man is. You see how selfish that man is? They just arrested a drug dealer or something here. And this guy pops in with his divvy bike and does that. Look at how he's acting. This is rush hour in a street in downtown Chicago. Look at how it operates. See that? Think about that. You want to deal with somebody like that?
Alderman Scott Waguespack wondered what that would mean.
Look at what an asshole that man is.
Or these companies
see that there?
On top of whatever we collected, attorney's fees and otherwise. Where's that coming from?
Alderman eventually advanced what the city calls clarifications to the ordinance. They'll now be considered by.
Look at that, and he walks in and forgets about. Look at it. Look at it. He's a scumbag. He's a booster. He's stealing, right? He's selling stolen goods to that guy.
Proposals that would result in a sale of a controversial contract that covers Chicago's parking meter revenue.
Look at what a scumbag that is.
Parking Meters LLC.
This is what we have in our downtown every day. Look at that. See the people? Their whole walkway is blocked now.
Far South Side Alderman Anthony Beals is the council.
Look at that. Look what he just did. He walks away now.
After he said the Johnson administration gave them needed materials.
And he walks away. So you see the switch there? Look at what just happened. Did you see the drug deal?
Like the mayor does, going through these things. And to just give it to us in a couple of days, I think it's doing a disservice to the people of the city of Chicago.
Did you see what just happened? Did you see the scumness? That was a drug deal. They switched the drugs. You just watched it live here. You just seen that, right? Look at what they just did. Look at how they left the sidewalk. See that there? He got off the bike. He gave them some stuff. They switched some things. He did something in the bag, and look at how he left it. You think that's a normal human being? You think that's a normal human being that just did that? Look at that. Listen to JB, whack job.
Fiscal health, and it continues the economic progress we have worked so hard to build over the last 7.5 years.
Governor Pritzker says affordability was a main focus of the budget, which makes new investments in education, housing, and food bank.
Look at that.
And
what they did.
Pauses taxes on things like gas and back-to-school supplies.
This is a budget for Illinois' future.
House Minority Leader Tony McCombie says the government continues to lead through tax hikes.
Illinois families deserve real solutions to the rising cost of living, not nearly
let me switch phones. Sorry.
$800 million in new taxes and the same budget gimmicks that have failed taxpayers for years.
Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Can you see it now?
Man is dead, another critically wounded in 2 shootings last night. One by police on Chicago's north side.
Can you see it now?
Says 2 men got into an argument near Lawrence and Clark before 8:30, and one shot the other multiple times. The 63-year-old victim died at the hospital. Police say officers responding to that saw a man running.
Can you see the screen now? Can somebody just say yes or no?
Husband and their dog when they heard the initial gunshots and then hid when they saw police chasing the suspect.
As soon as we hid behind the car, we heard.
All right. So what you're watching is a guy got detained for drug dealing.
Gunshots because it's like.
Now you see, look at how he walks away from this shit he just threw on the sidewalk. See that scumbag right there? They did the drug dealing back of me. You see how he left all that shit there? Look at that. He stole that bag from somebody is what he did. He stole that backpack from somebody. That's what that guy did. He stole the backpack, threw the stuff out. And now he's going to steal somebody else's backpack. That's what he just did. Alright, that's somebody's backpack that was stolen. Look at this. Yeah, he stole somebody's backpack. Look at that. See that? He stole somebody's... And then what? He just left it there. Look at that. Right. That's what he did. He stole somebody's backpack. Look at that. And look at it. There's Narcan. He stole a drug addict's backpack. See that there? It's a drug addict's backpack. See that there? There's Narcan there. There's a lighter there. See that what he did? Let me put this on Citizen. See that there? So, somebody got arrested here. It was probably a drug dealer. Right, there's a guy sitting in that McDonald's, right? And then some guy came on a divvy bike. There was another guy here that took the drug dealer's spot. and they dumped everything on the sidewalk, right in the middle of a sidewalk here. See that there? In the middle of rush hour, right? See that there? Look at that. There's somebody's stuff, man. See that there? Yeah. Now watch out, there's probably drugs in there. Don't touch that shit, man. Don't touch that shit, man. In that blue thing, there's probably heroin right there. You see that blue thing? There's probably heroin in there. That's a drug addict's bag. They just ripped them off. See that there? Don't touch that stuff. You get sick, man. There you go. See that there? There you go. That's what you see there. See that? Did you guys see that?
TikTok Live.
Huh?
TikTok Live.
I haven't got used to TikTok. SubX.News.
Facebook Live.
There you go. That's me, man.
Oh yeah.
They ripped they must have ripped some drug addict off and dumped his bag there and traded for some money.
Some guy just got arrested.
Yeah, so they switched to drug dealers, and then the dude came here to sell this bag to the new drug dealer. There's probably drugs in that blue thing there. But that's that weird shit that gets you, meth and all that shit. It's not like real drugs. You gotch that shit.
Yeah, it's like falling chemicals.
Yeah, don't touch, don't ever go around that shit. It's not like the regular drugs, man. They ain't weed or anything like that, man.
The only thing good is goes in the grass.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Yeah, you see the Narcan though, right? There you go, man. You're in the middle of a crime scene there, man. You seen the Narcan, right? Yeah, that's a drug addict's bag there. That's what that is, man. And you don't know what's in there. You don't touch that stuff, man. There you go, man. Make a TikTok video, man. Switch drug dealer, somebody ripped off a drug addict and dumped their bag right there on the sidewalk.
In a car after an encounter with a security guard who also fired his weapon. Nobody else was injured. The car was located, a residence was searched. The man has not been found. Mike Krauser, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
For the 6th year, a ticket for Ravinia Festival will also cover your travel costs on Metro's Union Pacific North Line. Whether you're seeing Paul Simon or one of the other many concerts at the park this summer, all you have to do is show the conductor your ticket or your e-ticket, and your rides to and from Ravinia are free. On weekdays, Metro UP North Lines will stop at the park starting at 5. Weekend service will begin mid-morning and continue through the day. The Ravinia season starts July 11th. Tomorrow could get some heavier thunderstorms. We're going to find out from AccuWeather coming up.
Edward R. Murrow believed credibility begins with truth. Recognized with 2 regional Murrow Awards, including overall excellence. Our commitment to serving Chicago and the region with dependable journalism never stops. Thank you for listening to News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
I can't raise my arms, I can't climb stairs, I can't kneel down. That means I can't play with the kids or grandkids, golf with my friends, get through a workday without exhausting pain. Cisco Cotto here. If that sounds like you, I'm here to tell you something you can do. You can contact QC Kinetics. You heard me talk about Dr. Carabelli and her medical team at QC Kinetics. So many people have been through their game-changing regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no downtime, just inflammation calming down, pain backing off. It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? I love hearing from you how QC Kinetics helped you dig out from under that long list of can'ts and into your best life. The consultation is absolutely free. You have nothing to lose except that pain.
Ready to go? Alright. Maybe I can get on the radio now. Let's see what I got going on here. I got all kinds of phones here, right?
Hey, it's Jeff from Jeff Buys Your House. When people call us, they're not just selling a house. They're usually dealing with something bigger. A major life change, a family transition, or an overwhelming situation. And her kids were trying to coordinate everything from out of town. The house was full of 40 years of belongings, and they were completely overwhelmed. They told us they didn't have the time or energy for repairs and a major cleanup. We bought the house as is and gave them the time they needed to take what mattered. Family photos, heirlooms, whatever they wanted. And we handled the rest. After closing...
That's your stuff, bro? They just ripped somebody off there, man.
Since 2000...
They just ripped somebody off. They just grabbed somebody's bag, man, from underneath the lower whacker. That's somebody's stuff right there. They ripped them off, man. I don't know if you know the guy. That's his shit there, man. Unless that's somebody else's stuff. Because, see, he had his lighter there. He's got his blue thing there, and he's got his lock for his bicycle. You see that there? That might be somebody's shit. You might know the guy.
Sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning.
See that?
Sewer and electric. Here is meteorologist Brian Thompson. And what can we expect tomorrow, particularly?
Well, tomorrow's kind of a tricky setup. Lisa, it's not going to be a traditional severe weather day where we have sunshine starting.
That lock is good too, I think.
Some rain and some thunderstorms come through earlier in the day, and hopefully that will help keep eventually the snow weather more off to our south. So this storm,
somebody got ripped off. They ripped off somebody's bag.
I know. I'm looking. I don't like you.
And then he sold it to the other guy.
I said, what are you doing, bro?
Do you know the guy who got ripped off? What's up, young lady? I haven't seen you in a while. Last week.
Again, we'll have some rain.
You know what? What I'm trying to figure out, what happened with the stabbing the other day? Remember that Friday?
I wasn't there.
You know what y'all talking about? The big one, right?
Yeah, but
did you know the person involved? I thought it was the girl. She has the silver bag.
I know what she looks like.
You know what I'm talking about? She always has the silver bag.
All the time, but I don't know her personally because she's always like, oh no, it's not to me. The energy from her I didn't like. So
yeah, because it sounds like somebody messed with her, and then somebody tried to help her. And then somebody else helped, and then they all got stabbed. And you know what? Here's the problem: the police ain't telling us nothing.
No, you know what? They can't. Just like me, right? My son was kidnapped July 2025.
Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that.
Last month, 2025. Last month.
You know, they just killed somebody on at the park, right? Last night. Did you hear about the murder?
No.
Right here in the park.
I just got downtown. I only been
They just killed somebody at the park by the fountain. Yeah. It was on a divvy bike.
The dude that killed my son is my son's best friend, little brother. So he took 3 other people with him, and they jumped in. One of them jumped in the passenger seat of my son's car, and they drove off. The gas station, it showed the video of the person that jumped in the passenger side. I mean, this is the key to it.
What happened?
His third baby mama paid all of them $500 to kill him, right? And
over what? Love, money, or what?
No, she was jealous. She was mad because he left her because we
jealousy,
found out
love.
Those 3 kids not his. So when we found out the kids not his, he been taken care of for 12 years. He left her. He's happy. He got a new life. Everything. He had his second job was going to kick in that following week. What hurt me was when they called. And he never called. And my son said he left the house at 8 at night and nobody could reach him. He's always on Facebook at night, all till 5 in the morning because he got to work at 7 in the morning. He gets on Facebook, even PM at work. He didn't get on. Second day, he's not on. I don't care if he just go to the library and get on the computer. He checks in, always checks in, and he calls me every day. When the police pulled D-Dot over, he shot himself with fentanyl and killed himself. So once D-Dot killed himself, the other 3 guys, they told where my son's body was. So we found him April 5th this year. He was in a
So how long was your son's body missing?
He's been missing since July
of last year?
Yeah.
And you just found him April?
Bones, yeah. We got his jawbone, his dreads. And so
why did they kill him? Shoot him or stab him?
He got shot. They shot him up. And
was he hooked up?
He is plastic back
No,
around.
was he hooked up, meaning in a gang or in a crew?
He used to be in a gang. He was John Doe, but right now he has kids and stuff. The person that killed him.
But you're saying this had to do with a girl. It didn't have to do with the money, right?
It had to do with no money. His best friend's little brother's jealous of him because he took his brother away. He's like, but you're younger than them. You're not old enough to hang out with them. D-Dot got out of jail. When the boy got out of jail, that's what he said.
What?
D-Dot went to prison for 11 years because a 17-year-old boy came up missing 11 years ago. When he gets out, he kills my son 6 to 8 months later. He's always jealous.
Where's that guy now? Is he running the streets still, or is he in prison?
He's got ready to pull him over for what he did to my son. He shot himself up with fentanyl.
Oh, so he committed suicide.
Car. Yeah, he died in his car. So now that made the other 3 guys start talking.
Okay.
And that's when they said his body is in Manuka in the pond. So they drained that pond. His name's Red Foster Gordon. Manuka,
Red
Illinois.
Foster Gordon, Manuka, Illinois. They found a dead body, right? That was your son.
Yes, Terran Foster Gordon. That's my son, my firstborn. I got 6 boys, 3 girls. And my first son. They gave him house arrest, so we still got to go back to court. But they didn't release my son's bones to me yet because it's still under investigation. So I'm supposed to get it this week, maybe Friday. And then the other guys, we got court. They won't let me see the video yet, but I get to see it in court.
So I got the name. I'm not video recording you. I'm recording now. I got the name on here, and maybe I'll look it up through whatever I can look. I don't have access to certain names.
Terran, Terran Foster Gordon. That's my son. And my name is.
Here, why don't you want to say it on with your face or not with your face?
Huh?
You want to put your face on the TV or not? No, right?
It's going to be national TV.
Yeah, I'm on the internet.
Oh, okay.
You want to talk about it or not?
And everybody can see my face.
No, all right. So just say the name this way. No one can see your face. Just say that way. Say what we're looking for. Yeah, say his name and your name, and I'll look for the records. All right? Because I download the video every night, and then I'll look for it later. Okay? So say it right there. Go ahead. And the dates. Wait till that ends. That way, you see that it's not videotaping your face. So just say it now into it. What am I looking for?
Yeah, okay. They just found my son. Okay, his name is Terran Foster Gordon. Terhan Foster Gordon. And I'm Jennifer Gordon. And I'm saddened because his baby mama, Jerica, she had him set up by this boy named D-Dot. D-Dot killed himself when the police tried to arrest him. So the other 3 guys told. So they found my son in Manuka, Illinois, in a pond. And then
what date was that? In April 2026, right?
This year, yeah.
April 2026. We'll look up records for that.
Yeah.
And then
he's been missing since June 28, 2026, and we just got his remains.
What's the name of his killer?
His name, they call him D-Dot.
D-Dot?
Yeah, it's for them. It's for them.
And he's dead already. So
yeah, he killed himself. So when he killed himself, they started talking. So if he hadn't killed himself, then we would have never found him because we would look for him in Joliet.
Right.
We went to Little Stateville, Little Joliet is closed down.
Right.
But they searched through there. You know, they searched everywhere looking for my son. And at the time I was in a wheelchair. I just started walking because I had an infection in my blood from an infected bone. They cut it off. But anyway, yeah. And so I'm saddened by that.
All right, we'll look it up. Look, I'm busy.
Okay.
But if I got a little extra time, I'll punch in the names. I'll see if I can. And you're looking to see the video. You want the video, right?
They said everybody see that court, but it's a video at the gas station where
he got murdered.
No, yeah, where they jumped in his passenger side of his car and made
And
him
when did he
drive
get
off.
murdered? What date? Do you remember?
This happened June 27 or 28. It happened on a
Of
Friday.
2025.
Of 2025. It happened
On
a
a Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and in what city?
It happened in Joliet.
Joliet.
Right off the expressway.
But they dumped his body in Manuka.
Yeah.
So, but the crime happened in Joliet. So what we're looking for is police records from the murder. And you want to get the video.
Yeah.
Or I'll look for it. I'll see if I can request it as a news media. Is that good?
I might see that video in court. But if they want to sit down and talk to me, I got the case files at home. I can sit down and talk about the situation because I don't want her to get away with because she wants to set the whole
I
thing
gave you
up.
my card before. There's my card again.
Yep, I got it.
Where do you stay at? In the city or in Joliet?
I stay with my family, but right now
You're all over?
I've been
Yeah, whatever. It's okay. I used to sleep on the train
but
too.
when they told me about my son,
It messed with your head.
right, I'm in my
Yeah,
right
would
mind.
mess-
but
yeah.
Again, it's just too
That's
much.
sad. It's sad. Yeah.
I just want to be alone. I don't
Yeah,
want everybody asking me questions.
People don't understand homelessness. Sometimes it's a choice. You don't have to deal with nothing. People, did I say the right thing?
You did. I
People
ran
don't
away.
understand it.
I ran away. I ran away from everybody, and because I don't want to.
Sometimes you're out there because you can't get out of whatever you're in. But some people are there on purpose.
Yeah.
People
They
don't get that one.
Yeah.
People don't understand that, do they?
No, they don't.
See, one day what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit here and have maybe I'll interview you. I'll see you out there and we'll sit down and have a coffee or something. We'll talk about because people don't understand that sometimes it's a choice to be homeless.
Yeah.
And they talk about we're gonna buy you apartments and give you all these billions and all. That's all bullshit. That doesn't fix the problem. An apartment doesn't fix the problems, does it?
No. But it helps. It helps to heal this. It does. It helps heal. But I don't want to go stay with somebody else. Like right now, I have an income. But right now, I couldn't walk for 10 months. So now I'm walking now. I couldn't balance. Now I'm walking now. So now I'm trying to get my state ID. I got my ID card thing now. Wait for it to come in the mail at Haymarket.
Right.
So it's a process.
And it's everything involved. It's what happens with you mentally, what happens with your family. You might be on some drugs, you might be on some alcohol.
I gotta see my other kids.
Right.
In their eyes.
Yeah.
And especially it's hurt. And now I can't fix it. It hurts me to see them like that.
What's up, my brother?
You heard me. It hurts me to see my other kids like that. So I gotta stay strong. I gotta stay strong for them.
Yeah, I know how it is.
My son is so hurt.
Yeah, it's traumatic. It's traumatic, and he's probably the oldest, so they looked up to him.
He's my firstborn.
They look up to him, so it's traumatic.
Yeah, they did.
And then you have to handle certain things.
And his kids.
Right. It's all over the place.
God.
I mean,
he got a 17-year-old boy that's in high school now, and we hope he's staying. He'll
see,
junior.
this is what I want to say. People think money solves all the problems. It don't. It might help a little bit, but it doesn't solve the underlying problem.
It don't.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
It don't.
Me and you you've seen each other for a few times out
here. You know
here.
what I looked at though? You're right. I looked at it's a lot of people still looking for family members.
Right.
And the ones that did find they don't know what happened to them. But at least I know what happened to my son. I thought it was going to take forever, but I know who was involved, what happened. We found.
You got some closure. Where did you bury him? Do you know? Which cemetery did you bury him
We
in?
didn't bury him. The coroner's office still got him. They still.
Why? Because it's under investigation?
Yes.
So
They're trying to see how he was killed. They know he was killed with it. They're trying to see because his bones were scattered. He has his
So what I can do then is track it through
in the water, and then they had to drain the pond. They had to go out there 4 times because the coroner said, "Hey, we only got 80% of his body. We only got 20% of his body." So when they got at least 91%, that's when they didn't go back out there. They didn't been back. It's been on the news 4 times.
So what I'll do is
they had to drain that pond out there.
I might be able to track it through the coroner's number then. About what, my brother? What do you want to talk about?
All right.
You know I don't carry no money. I don't have no money. I'm afraid of those young guys. They be jacking me and stuff. I don't carry nothing.
Can you see me? What? You want to talk to me or him?
What's up, my brother?
Okay.
Good seeing you, my sister.
Whenever you see me, I can talk to you.
We'll go out. We'll have some. What do you like to eat? We'll go out to eat, me and you,
like
and we'll just talk. We'll spend a few hours talking, all right?
Okay.
Because right now I'm doing this thing, all right?
Okay.
I want to do it private. You know what I'm talking about? All right, you okay, my brother? Yeah, somebody lost their stuff there, man. That's the way life. There's a good lock there. Grab that lock. See the lock and key? See the lock and key? That's good stuff there, man. Hey, grab it. That's somebody's stuff. That's a lock and key, ain't it? Hey, go grab that stuff. The guy just got jacked. What's up, my brother? SubX, man. Alright, you know. Hey, what? You know why I'm talking to everybody? We should make a Netflix show out here. Yeah, look, we're all making the little money, but we're not making the big money. You know what I'm talking about? We should make if you see anybody, here, give him my card, man. See that? There's all kinds of stuff out here, man. Alright, ready to go, guys? So I got some homework to do. There you go. That's what's left of somebody's stolen property. See that there? And you see that guy went off to go do a deal there, right? Alright, 5:30 news. Let's keep moving.
Life and casualty. Call 1-800-651-1800. That's 651-1800. Rates subject to change. Please call to confirm.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 105.9 and WBBM News Radio.
You've seen the whole cycle here, right?
5:30. Good evening.
Sad, isn't it?
Thanks for joining us tonight.
And
The top stories on News Radio WBBM.
Chicago aldermen are on the clock as they go over a potential resale of
Let's
that
go.
controversial parking meter contract. I'm political editor Jeff Buckles at City Hall.
Chicago leaders aren't spending money brought in by the city's new social media tax.
Everybody has a story out here.
More than they expected to collect.
This is Andy Dane. A week after a burning cross was found in Grant Park, Chicago police say an arrest has been made.
Sports Cubs host the Rockies. Sox take on the Yankees on the road in business.
How's the screen? Is it good?
As oil tumbles ahead of a U.S.-Iran peace deal. The Dow at a fresh record high of 331 points. The Nasdaq down 308, and the S&P lost 43.
At 5:31, 72 degrees. Chicago aldermen say they're finally getting a look at information that's tied to a potential change in the city's controversial parking meter deal, but Mayor Johnson isn't saying what he thinks of the proposed sale.
Before J.P. Morgan and its partners can sell their rights to the city's on-street parking revenue to the private equity group named Stone Peak, Chicago aldermen have to vote on it.
I'm going to do my part to give the city council all that it needs in order to be able to make a sophisticated response.
And Mayor Johnson says his team has done that as quickly as possible, but critics, including far south side alderman Anthony Beal, disagree.
They held this for over 30 days and gave it to us with less than 2 weeks to go over the entire deal.
Aldermen are now set to talk to executives from Stone Peak at the end of the month. Beal and more than 20 colleagues had signed a letter saying they plan to vote no because of what they call the lack of information. Has your mind changed at all at this point?
Well, again, we're just now getting the information.
And if the mayor has an opinion about the potential deal, he's not sharing it.
I'm doing what the law requires me to do.
We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9. WBDM.
Meantime, city leaders say Chicago is not yet spending the millions of dollars that's being collected by the mayor's new tax on social media, even though it's exceeding projections. The tax
I told you social media, didn't I?
Active users in the city that brought in more than $16 million for the first 4 months of the year, which is more than half of what the city projected for the full year. Policy Chief Jung Yoon spelled out the affected sites for aldermen on a council committee.
Meta, which owns Instagram, Facebook, Threads, YouTube, Twitter, Snap, TikTok, LinkedIn, Reddit, Twitch,
they all have to pay.
Store.
The money is not being spent in part because social media companies are suing the city over the tax, which the Johnson administration says will pay for public and mental health programs.
Liars.
A week after a cross was set on fire in Grant Park, authorities say someone is in custody.
The burning cross was found near Columbus and Balboa Drives last Tuesday afternoon. Chicago police quickly released surveillance photos of a person of interest, while Father Michael Flager offered a reward of up to $10,000, leading to an arrest. Now, police say they have taken a person of interest into custody. Channel 5 spoke to the man who claims that he set the cross ablaze. He says it was meant to protest the Trump administration and claims he was unaware of any racial implications to burning a cross. When asked if he believed he committed a hate crime, the man said, quote, "I understand why it was interpreted that way.
Be careful!
It was not.
You guys heard they killed somebody over there, right? In the park. You heard they killed somebody yesterday in the park, right? Right there at the park, Grand Park. By the divvy, some guy riding on the divvy. I don't know if it was a migrant or somebody. Sounds like they said on the radio, Puerto Ricans killed a guy on a divvy bike. So be safe. They were riding around and shot him. I know they don't tell you guys everything. It's like when they killed a guy. They remember when they burned that lady up there? They didn't tell you guys, right? So just watch. They just killed somebody. That was last night, happened at midnight, all right? So I don't know who it was. If I figure out who it was, I'll tell you guys, all right? All right? I ain't got no money. They know me. I don't have no money. Sorry about it. All right, take it easy. So they just ripped somebody off. Rips off somebody. They dumped his bag over there. One of you guys. They just ripped his bag off. Dumped his whole backpack out in the middle of the sidewalk. Right there by the McDonald's. Yeah. It's all on the sidewalk. Take it easy, guys.
Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Around the world now, a key issue in the U.S. agreement with Iran is whether the Iranians would receive any money for signing the deal. The Trump administration says Tehran can earn back money as it meets certain metrics within the agreement. ABC's Karen Travers has the latest.
This has been a really big, hard line from the president of not wanting to be seen as giving money
so
back
as I passed,
to Iran because
the guys that sell drugs popped out of Garvey over there
and giving money back to Iran, their money. And so there's a big, I think kind of PR.
Everybody knows me in this area. I got to be careful. They might try to get somebody to shoot me now. Right? We'll see. That's why I try to make deals with the head guys, right? I tell them I'm a reporter here. I don't care what you. I don't share my stuff with the cops. I'm not
Deputy head of the Secret Service insists the UFC fight at the White House was never at risk. That, though, as federal authorities charge suspects with planning to attack it.
Officials say multiple suspects in multiple states were involved in the plot to target the UFC.
There's a lot of people out here today.
Secret Service Deputy Director Matthew Quinn told reporters
it was an active plot, and it's ongoing.
Quinn says the plot involved the purported use of drones and snipers. But noting that not all the suspects were yet in custody, the Deputy Secret Service Director pointedly said this.
In order to maintain the integrity of the investigation and the security plan, we chose not to leak it.
The remark's been read as a criticism of FBI Director Kash Patel, who announced the first arrests online. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
At U.S. Waterproofing, when we're called to fix a basement water problem, we get it fixed right.
So that's what everybody has a story on here, right? Her son got murdered. And I have to say this one more time. Someone who says they're going to give somebody an apartment and they need $1 billion for housing, that's a scam. That's a scam. It's a straight scam. First of all, we have a CHA. Why are you doing some private stuff? See, that's the biggest thing we should talk about. Maybe that's part of the second part of this. I don't know if I have enough to put on to tomorrow's article, but I've done a lot of the work. I haven't done all the work for a CHA article. I've done it over the years. But we have a CHA that should be housing people, and they're not housing people. There's a lot of apartments empty. We've showed you those, right? The Abla homes, the Cabrini homes, the ones down on Loomis, right? There's a lot of empty apartments. The ones over there on Rockwell over there by Western, there's a ton of empty apartments, right? So why isn't the housing department housing our homeless when that's what they should be doing? And why are you doing scheme deals with $1.25 billion with private contractors? It doesn't even make sense. And here's the bigger thing. The mayor says he's what? The mayor says he's a union organizer. He's making side deals with non-union people. He should be making every deal that he makes should be through the city, through unions, and through the institutions that can be regulated and create jobs through the government. That way, those are stable jobs. Those are good middle-class jobs. Yet he's not doing that. He's making side deals with who? Private developers, right? That's what he's doing. Why? Because he wants most of the black and poor people out and the migrants and immigrants out of this city. He don't want black people in the city, poor black people. What? Why? Because poor black people are smart. Poor black people are smart. People put all this stupid stuff on the internet, the Ku Klux Klan stuff, them, right? I always tell you, the way you check them is Ku Klux Klan, right? When people start saying them and they, those are mostly Ku Klux Klan people, right? So why don't they want poor black people to be involved in whatever he's doing? Because they're smart. They've been ripped off before in the city of Chicago. Their housing has been ripped down. They said Maxwell Street was going to be for people. All that development over there went to what? Private people. They flipped houses. Some went to prison. Luis Gutierrez, he was part of that scam over there. Yeah. And Danny Solis, they all were scammers over there by the UIC, Maxwell Street. They tore all that down. Said some of that's going to go to low-income housing. It didn't. Abla Homes, they even went to court. A judge who rejected the deal. They had a contract that says this much to low-income housing. They rejected it. So why don't they want poor black people to be part of the decision-making process here in Illinois and in Cook County and in Chicago? Because they're smart. Poor black people are smart. They've been ripped off before. They've been ripped off, right? They've been ripped off. Their projects have been torn down. They've been lied to. They've been ripped off. They've been used as pawns, all of this stuff, right? That's why. Poor black people in Chicago are smart because they've been ripped off before. And again, why aren't these people being taken care of? Why are we doing scams with building projects when you have the CHA that should be housing? Oh, the Lathrop homes on the north side, right? How about those? It's all being privately developed, right? There's the hundreds of units that we have available in Chicago. And then we have that's Latrobe up there, and then we have the other ones on LeClaire homes, right? The ones on the south side, all that land empty. So you think about all these things that we have, and none of it's being used for anybody. It's zero. It's not being used. It's not being used. You heard the lady. She's not being helped. Whatever. She's hooked up on some stuff. She's got issues with her or whatever it has. She has some mental issues. She might have some drug addiction issues. She might have some family issues. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But there's no one helping her, right? There's no one helping her. Right? Yes, they want gentrification. They want to clean out the city and they're going to repopulate it. That's their plan. That is their plan. I was going to try to get, what was I going to do here? I'm going to do some radio calls. I wanted to figure out what that was, right? But you're seeing how fast that happened there. Did you guys, how much did you see at that McDonald's there? Did you see the guy getting arrested? Then did you see the guy dumping the bag? Well, I got a video on Citizen app, so I'll download that video. Or I'll videotape it. So then I'll show you guys what happened there, right? So what happened is someone got arrested at the McDonald's, most likely for dealing, loitering, whatever it was, or warrant. We're going to listen to the radio calls, right? We'll try to get to that. And then what happened, they switched. The guy that was in charge of the McDonald's switched because the other guy got arrested. And as they switched, the dude pulls up on the divvy. He ripped off somebody from somewhere, right? And he dumped the bag right in the middle of the sidewalk. Right? And sold the bag to the dude. And he did it through the phone app. Didn't you see him doing it through the phone app? They don't do cash deals anymore. So you've seen the whole cycle of stealing, ripping off downtown, right? You just seen it. All right, so that happened around 5:30, right? We'll say. Let's see if we can hear the radio call, all right? All right, no, we don't want to push that button. We don't want that button. That's a bad button there. We want to hit this button here. Let's see this. You seen it right here. That's the... 1-8. When did we pull up there? Let's do some radio calls.
4714.
4714.
Down in Chicago Cupsky tail is also 4719.
74.
383 Frank.
738 Frank.
I need an event on that red line.
Yep.
that is 09618.
383 John.
783 John.
Have a number, red line. Red.
Yep, that is 096.
We're trying to figure out what happened at that McDonald's, right?
6317.
It is fine, stand for a safe.
Safe check at 1714 hours.
And David, we landed 201 on the mile.
10-4. It is 1714 on the clock.
Bakery boy.
783 boy.
CCA check went on a rail on.
You got it. That's 09647.
7310.
7310.
Well, let me get a number from 79 red line.
Yeah, that is 09680.
387 boy.
7387 boy.
Bus ride, Ashland Roosevelt.
Okay, that is 09712.
7387 Adam.
7387 Adam.
Hey squad, show us on the disturbance over here at Halstead and 79 with a CTA bus. Alright.
79 Halstead for a bus disturbance, 10-4. 733A.
Squad, red line, Clark and Red, or Clark and Lake. We need a VIN number from this customer.
Major King, okay, that is 09733.
And 5.
And 5, go ahead.
One for Vietnam Memorial.
Vietnam is 09736. 09736.
Thank you.
Yeah, no prep.
$389 boy.
7389 boy.
And for Radio King Blue Light please.
Yep, that is 09739. I might have to go more backwards in time.
The number for Chicago is?
Why don't we go back to like...
That is 09749.
I might have to go back to 445, I think. For that radio call. Let me go back or in time. We're looking for what happened at that McDonald's.
733 boy.
Okay, 79 from rail on.
Yep, that is 09124.
7310.
7310.
Well, let me get a number from 35th. Red line.
Yep, that is 09129.
Number 387 boy.
7387 boy.
Bus at Western and Roosevelt.
Alright, that is 09149.
Unit 1022 and citywide, we have a person with the 911740 South Hill. There's an older male black with a machete threatening the combat crew. Nothing further. Zone 9 clear.
738 Adam. Yeah, take 09188.
1231 on Citywide 2.
1231, you were on Citywide 1.
Whoops, my bad.
No worries.
1513, units 1015 and citywide, person with a gun, 5088 West Jackson. Male black with judge drove by. The IC stand waving a gun and threatening to shoot everyone. He's in a black Ford sedan. Flood westbound. District 15, zone 12.
383 Adam.
738 Adam.
Sun number for 95 red line, please.
Yep, that's 092
Alright, since you're on Citywide 1, Zone 6 is going to be operating on Citywide 6 until further notice. Again, Zone 6 operating on Citywide 6 until further notice.
7389, boys.
That guy's always begging in front of that store with his kid.
Medical district.
Yep, that is 09229.
7383 Charlie.
7383 Charlie.
Number 4 by line 69th Street, please.
Sure, that is 09235. 7353.
Can I get an event for Howard Redline, please?
Yep, that is 09251.
Units at 19 and Citywide, we're getting criminal trespass in progress, 927 West Wilson. Caller states male black and female black inside the building knocking on people's doors. One is wearing a black sweater, second is wearing green and black clothing. Unknown of where they are in the building. District 19, Zone 2 station clear.
3215.
Yeah, let me get line to 19.
Bad for you. Did I have another unit coming in?
383 Mary.
Hey, 83 Mary, good.
Event number Chicago in the rear.
Yep, it's going to be 09267.
383 John, check the red line, please.
Hey, 83 John, 10-4. It's 09272. 7388 Adam. Yeah, that is 09277.
Units responded to 117 and inhale. 11740 inhale, take a disregard. Zone 9 clear.
383 Eddie.
73 Eddie.
An offer,
Yep, that is 09294. Unit with an emergency, where are you?
If they did, I must have missed
with
it.
an emergency on Citywide 1?
Sometimes you guys hear more than I do.
Just a second, please. Did I have a unit on Citywide with an emergency coming in on Citywide 1?
They were robbing people here the other day.
Yeah, 10-4. You good? I thought I heard you coming up there. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, very good. 1647 on the clock for one in custody. I'll get you a transport.
That's them. That was 1624. That was them. These guys.
Yeah, 10-4. You good? I thought I heard you coming up there. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
That was them.
All right, very good. 1647 on the clock for one in custody. I'll get you a transport.
1647. So we just rolled up on it.
Go ahead, David.
Just let our other half know that we're in front of McDonald's on street level.
All right, 10-4. 97 David's other half. They're going to be in front of McDonald's on the street level.
There you go.
7 David's other half, copy.
All right.
That's the arrest.
David, could you also put this ID on the box?
Yeah, go ahead with it.
Maybe 2601138726 boys. If you come back to a Booker Christopher, a DOB of 21987.
All right, 10-4.
There you go. Just gotta have a little patience.
All right, he pops 3. The third one is going to be the only one that's valid here, but it is valid.
More.
Yeah, just put this one in custody and get us a transfer, please.
All right.
So that he had a warrant. That's why they arrested him. There we go. We got the story, right? SubX.News. We try our best here. I'm going to go back to the old ways.
729-7 David.
I'll show you guys what I can really do.
I'm sure you may be aware, but you copied the info about him not being allowed to be on CTA per the judge?
Alright, we weren't aware of that, but now we are.
Yeah, I'll put it on there. It was from the hot desk. Back in May, he was issued a court order for pretrial saying that he was to stay away from any CTA property.
That's the guy you seen under arrest.
83 Henry and Ida.
73 Henry and Ida.
So, red line, please.
Yep, that is 09344. 733 North.
That number
Yep, that is 09349.
788 Adam.
788 Adam.
Red number for the line here.
Yeah, that's 09401.
I ain't gonna say where we're driving by, but we're driving by somebody's spot.
Event number for a Blue Line mission on Medical District.
Sure.
Don't say where we're at, Marietta.
407.
73836.
We're gonna go around the circle here, right? And I'm gonna take a break in a spot around here.
Laking Clark. Can we get that number, please? 6 close.
Yep. That
What was
is
that?
09388
Adam.
Is that the event number for the...
789 Adam.
Event number for a Blue Line mission on Medical District.
Sure. 09407.
73836.
733K.
Red line. Laking Clark. Can we get that number, please? 6 close.
What was these guys? What'd they say?
09407.
73836.
733K.
Red line, Garfield and Laking Clark. Can we get that number, please? 6 close.
Yep. That is 09410.
383, a boy.
783 boy.
DJ check 7971.
They're tearing up your street.
09417.
M2.
M2, sir. Good afternoon.
Good, sir. Can I get 2 Navy Pier and Jardine?
Yeah, Navy Pier is 09441, 09441. Jardine is 09442, 09442.
Man, look at that big hole there.
Alright, 797 David. The zone has it. They have been broadcasting it, but still don't have a car available. 797 David. Alright, that works.
783 David. How do you?
783 David, I heard you first. Go ahead.
7310 Squad. We hit a number for 69 red line.
7310 10-4. That is 09461. And other unit coming in?
We're all right.
Hanging out, that's for sure tonight. Where's the cop at?
Yes, 09464.
Ain't no cop out here tonight.
M5 on the citywide.
M5, sir. Good afternoon.
Squad. Can I get 1 number for the main branch?
You got it. Main branch is 09475. 09475.
Tank 3, Adam.
783 Adam.
Hit an event for standing of life submission at 90 for the bed.
You sure can. That is 09479.
So everybody's hanging out in the back over here.
We're taking 1 mailing to 199 on the mile.
Alright, 1701 on the clock.
3 Mary.
733 Mary.
Number Chicago in the rear. 3 Mary.
733 Mary.
Number Chicago in the rear.
Yep, it is 09490.
Videos in 18 City Wagon, a person with a knife, 600 North Clark at the Walker Road, McDonald's. There's a male sleeping inside of the restaurant, refusing to leave. Threatening the caller. Male Hispanic wearing a black hat, black sweater, blue jeans. Caller thinks he saw a knife on a male Hispanic. That's all I have. District 18 zone 4.
7388 Adam. Yeah, that is 09506.
389, boy.
7389, boy.
Give me one more man, equal 26 Blue Line, please.
Yep, that is 09512.
387, boy.
7387, boy.
Westbound left right, Costner and Roosevelt.
Alright, that one is 09517.
So they don't let the car through, you see that?
What was that event number for the transmission in August Square?
09506. 09506. 7338 North. Yeah, that is 09523.
383 Charlie.
733 Charlie.
Get a number for Red Line 693, please.
This is on the news, right?
Yeah,
We'll stop the broadcast right there.
31.
And then we'll go back from there. Alright, this is in the news. 6 o'clock news. Listen if they talk about the Grand Park shooting. A murder, right?
I'm Dave Thacker. A manhunt this hour after shooting at Wilmington Hospital in Delaware. Law enforcement officials say preliminary information indicates a hospital employee shot 2 other employees. One shot in the neck and chest. Hospital employee Brian Pfeffer heard the shots from the ER.
But it was pretty scary. It was pretty intense. My prayers are out with everyone because it's pretty scary. You know, I've never been a part of anything like that.
The hospital on lockdown. David Carras with Wilmington Police.
Right now we still have officers from a number of agencies that are searching the building.
A plot thwarted by the FBI to use explosive drones to target buildings near the White House during the UFC match there on Sunday. Secret Service Deputy Director Matthew Quinn.
Look, it was a serious threat. We take all threats of a large nature very seriously, and we investigate them until we can validate 100% that it's no longer a threat.
5 people in custody, 1 person's been charged. President Trump in Europe continuing to tout his agreement with Iran.
President Trump today, during a meeting with the Emir of Qatar on the sidelines of the G7 World Leaders Summit, called the agreement between the U.S. and Iran, quote, fair and good. But he provided no new details of what's in the agreement, nor provided any timeline on when the text would be released. The president claimed that negotiations over Iran's nuclear program, to be addressed in this 60-day negotiating window, will be, quote, actually easier than getting to this point. Karen Travers, ABC News, Geneva, Switzerland.
Inflation and the economy. Vice President J.D. Vance on The View today saying things will get better.
We inherited an affordability problem. We're doing a lot to make it better. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot more work to do. But the president knows that a lot of Americans are struggling. In fact, he ran on that.
A federal judge has struck down an Idaho law that would have made it a criminal offense to use a bathroom designated differently than one's gender at birth. You're listening to ABC News.
The Chicago Symphony Orchestra performs a stirring program spanning multiple generations of American composers, June 18th through the 21st.
Hey, you got my secret spot today.
And producer Harry Lennox joins as the narrator for Copeland's Lincoln Portrait, paired with works to reflect on the ideals of freedom and equality. This concert is part of the CSO's America 250 musical journey. Get your tickets.
We'll listen to the news, figure out where we're going next, all right?
This moment of a parent walking across their toy-filled living room for a glass of water. And now, the California Closets version of that moment. Family room home storage solutions by designers who get you. California Closets. More room for what matters.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
And the time now is 6:03 on Tuesday, June 16, 2026. Good evening. I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting under some partly sunny skies. It's about 72 degrees here in Chicago. Tonight we'll get partly to mostly cloudy with a low of 57, and tomorrow it'll be cloudy, breezy, and cooler. And then comes the rain with some heavier thunderstorms later on in the day, especially late morning on. Storms can be severe with flash flooding, hail, damaging winds, and even a tornado. We'll see a high of 66 degrees tomorrow with a low of 60 degrees with some spots in areas, shower spots, I should say, tomorrow night. Of course, we're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 6:15, but here's our top story on News Radio WBBM. COPA is investigating a police shooting on the north side last night after another shooting that left a man dead. WBBM's Nancy Hardy reports from Uptown.
Chicago police say it started about a block south of here near Lawrence and Clark, where an argument turned deadly when one man shot another. The 63-year-old victim died at the hospital, and police say the shooter ran here to Clark and Argyle. Police say responding officers chased him, and the suspect turned his gun towards them when they shot him. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Tyler Fortman says he was walking back from the lake at about 8:30.
I thought, well, there's something big kind of happening because there seemed to be a lot of them, and they were moving really pretty quickly. And then I got a text from a friend that said, what the heck's going on?
Police say they recovered a gun here, and 3 officers were taken to the hospital for observation. They are now on desk duty. In Uptown, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
A teenager is dead after an early morning e-bike crash in Franklin Park. Police say a 19-year-old was killed this morning after his e-bike collided with the vehicle near the intersection of Belmont Avenue and George Street around 6:30. The teen was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. The 63-year-old driver of the vehicle remained at the scene. The West Suburban Major Crimes Task Force is investigating. The Chicago police, they say they've made an arrest in connection to a disturbing discovery in Grant Park last week.
Chicago fire officials responded near Columbus and Balboa Drives last Tuesday afternoon and found a burning cross. Surveillance photos were released of a suspect fleeing the scene, described by Chicago police as a person of interest. Authorities now say an arrest has been made, though no formal charges have been announced. It comes after Channel 5 released an interview with a man who claims responsibility for the incident. He says the burning cross was not intended to be a hate crime of any kind, but instead a condemnation of President Trump and what he calls MAGA Christian nationalist supporters and the ruling class. He also claims he did not know burning crosses are often linked to racial hatred. Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And Portage, Indiana's fire chief says 2 adults were found dead Saturday morning after running a generator inside or too close to their home during recent power outages. Preliminary information suggests a generator was placed beneath a window-mounted air conditioning unit, allowing deadly carbon monoxide to enter the home. The victim's identity have not been released, but Chief Chris Krell says the investigation is ongoing, but he's urging the residents to never run generators near windows, doors, or any openings at home. The city of Chicago's new tax on social media companies is bringing in more money than Mayor Brandon Johnson's budget team had expected, but the city's not spending it yet.
The mayor's budget team predicted the tax on social media platforms with more than 500,000 active users in the city would bring in about $31 million for a community public and mental health fund. But city policy chief Jung Yoon told aldermen on the finance committee it's doing a little better than that.
We have collected $16.4 million in the first 4 months.
That works out to just under $50 million for the year.
Have the social media companies sued us yet?
Southside Alderwoman Jeanette Taylor's question was answered by Susan Jordan from the law department.
Yes, the social media companies have sued.
Yoon told Northside Alderman Scott Waguespack the money is sitting unused for now.
We did not budget any programming on the Protecting Care Fund for 2026 and would wait to do so until the litigation is resolved.
But you're collecting funds.
Yes.
Aldermen advanced the administration's plan to clarify parts of the law. It's now headed for the full council. We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And we are approaching 6:08. That means traffic and weather together on the 8s. And here to give us an update on the roads is Abby Ryan.
Well, thank you, Glenn. The inbound side of the Edens, Lake Cook to the Kennedy Junction. You've got a 42-minute ride. It is heavy. Heavy spots from the Spur to the Kennedy Junction. 42 in from Lake Cook to the Kennedy. Outbound 18. Slow spots there. Kennedy Junction to Foster. Eden Spur eastbound, heavy approaching Waukegan Road. Kennedy outbound, a 20-minute ride to Montrose, 40 out to the airport. Inbound 50 O'Hare to downtown, heavy spots Cumberland, past the Wintrust mural at North Avenue over to the Chainburn Interchange. 25 coming in from the Edens Junction. I-190 looks good. Eisenhower out, 34 to Manheim, 56 to I-90. Inbound an hour and 8. 44 coming in from Manheim, the outbound side of the Stevenson. 30 just to get to Cicero. 42-minute ride to 294. 55 to 355. Inbound 45, 355 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Southbound I-55, Will County, heavy pass route 53 to Weber Road. Crash blocks your right lane. Dan Ryan out 23. Inbound 22. I-57 outbound 18. Bishop Ford outbound a 27-minute ride. Solid 115th all the way down to 159. DuSable Lakeshore Drive northbound, heavy past Monroe to Belmont Cubs traffic.
I gotta clean that window up.
Southbound side, heavy from Michigan to Chicago through Grant Park, 53rd Hayes. After that, Tri-State Tollway northbound, slow spot to 127 to 111th, earlier crash. Southbound, it is slow from Willow to Gulf and Bensonville Bridge to Ogden, Mile Long Bridge to 95th, I-80 past Halstead. If you're on 80-94, eastbound, you're okay. Westbound slows from Klein to Kennedy Avenue. Eastbound, I-80. Heavy spots LaGrange to 294. Next report for the Metro Traffic Center, 618 News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Abby. Tonight we're going to see a low of 57 degrees, but tomorrow we'll have periods of rain and a couple of heavier thunderstorms with a high of only 66 degrees and some showers and spots tomorrow night with a low of 60 degrees. It is currently 72 degrees at O'Hare and Midway, as well as the lakefront, and we are approaching 610. Chicago will be featured as the exclusive bookable travel destination through a first ever partnership with Amazon during Prime Day, June 23rd through 26th. President and CEO of Choose Chicago, Kristen Reynolds, says Chicago is really having a moment right now.
We are really the destination people are talking about. We're opening the Obama Center this week. We just had the James Beard Awards. We have the 1901 Project. We have new attractions that are opening up on the Mag Mile. We are the best big city in the U.S. 9 years in a row. We are a destination that everyone is talking about and wants to kind of find out what the buzz is about.
Chicago hotels are offering 20% off during Prime Day, and some select hotels are offering 10% off during early Prime Day deals. A reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of whoever vandalized a mural of fallen Chicago police officers in the Southwest neighborhood yesterday.
The mural, located in the 6800 block of South Pulaski in the West Lawn neighborhood, is a tribute to Chicago police officers killed in the line of duty. It includes depictions of fallen CPD officers Luis Huesca, Andres Vasquez Lasso, and Enrique Martinez. The vandal or vandals spray-painted over part of the mural, partially covering two of the officers' faces. Cook County Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 cash reward and says tips can be submitted anonymously by calling 1-800-535-STOP or online at cpdtip.com. My Martinez, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
And Chicago police are asking for the public's help to find 3 suspects wanted in connection to a CTA Blue Line stop attack. Officers say a trio beat up a 49-year-old man at the Washington Street platform in the Dearborn Street subway last Tuesday.
Oh, you got my
spot,
Sal?
As 3 young adults between 15 and 23 years old, all around 5 feet 10 inches, and were.
I say this. I'm 58. I've been in Chicago since when did my family come here? 71? Maybe 70? I think 70. My family came to Chicago in 70 or 71. So figure out how many years I've had to find spots. Figure that out. And I've lived in most places in the city, except certain areas. West side, I really haven't. I hung out on the west side a few spots, but not too many. And so I kind of know certain spots just from being in the city. That's it.
the responsibility to do their due diligence. As far as support is concerned, it's why we initiated this process with as much expediency. The time frame in which the city council has to look over the measure, they should be as thorough as they possibly can.
A city council hearing is set for the end of the month. The time now is 6:12.
This is the story of
You like that spot, Sal? That's an idea. You should go to the restaurant over here. There's a nice restaurant. It's, I think, Pakistani place right there, right? Oh, man. Boom, boom. So what are we going to do, guys? We're going to go west or what? What are we going to do? Maybe we'll go to the west side today. We'll end up somewhere west, maybe. You know what? We got to listen to the rest of the radio calls. We didn't finish that, right? Let's finish that right now. How's the sound? How's the picture? Everything good? Good? All right. I didn't know why the picture keeps going out like that, but you know what it is. Thank you for telling me, all right?
2-4.
There we go.
Addison Ravine into the Cubs game. Yeah,
we stopped around 6, I think. Or somewhere around there. Why don't we go somewhere around, we'll start right around there. We're at 538. Oh, what happened there?
All right, 3211, I know you're pulling up. They just advised that secondary crash with the Prius is actually going to be related.
All right, here we got some crashes. I might go get some gas at the Costco. That's where I might end up.
Yes, that is 09847.
I gotta get gas, so we'll go up there. Oh, I gotta do that. There we go.
3211, it's gonna be I-90 eastbound, or outbound. JB Hunt truck looks like it was rear-ended. Car does look like it's stuck with the engine bay underneath the trailer. Turning around as fast as I can now.
An engine? Where's that at? Let's go look at that. Where's it? Sounds like a bad crash. Probably south
yes,
Lakeshore Drive.
09847.
Where is that at?
I'll see what I can do. Alright, I'll let you know.
389, boy.
It's a bad crash. Let's see where it's at. Engine is out of the car.
7387
Hey, Fred, show us on the disturbance over here at Halstead and Club 79 with a CTA bus. Alright.
79 at Halstead for a bus disturbance, 10-4. 7338.
One, red line, Clark and Red, or Clark and Lake. We get a bed number for Pritzker.
Major King, okay, that is 09733.
And 5.
And 5, go ahead.
One for Vietnam Memorial.
Vietnam is 09736. 09736.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
389, boy.
7389, boy.
And for Radio King Blue Light, please.
Yep, that is 09739.
3 Mary.
792 Mary.
The number for Chicago is?
Yeah, that is 09749.
89 Adam.
739 Adam.
89 Adam. Snobby been up for a train ride 7200. I'm sorry, 7220 from Medical District 2 Austin.
Right, that is 09786. 783 Nora. Yeah, that is 09788.
83 Adam.
783 Adam.
The 95th Berlin, please.
Yep, that is 09794.
711, you listen 17 and Citywide, the sign up progress 4631 Foster at the target 2 Jubies. And one of them tried to hit the electric scooter. Shorts, black shirts, both on black scooters, offender still on scene. 17 distance on 1 clear.
3211.
Can you show me how keep driving the Skyway westbound?
Yeah, 10-4. I'm just getting calls on this right now. 3rd District had a car en route. I'll put you en route over there, though. Alright, most recent car I have is going to be vehicle versus a semi, and the vehicle is wedged underneath the semi. Fire's rolling.
3211.
Where's that at?
3211.
Yes, there's 2 crashes up here. Which one is the semi one with underride?
That one's going to be outbound at about 7,000 south.
I'll see what I can do. Alright, I'll let you know what I got when I get there.
Okay, 10-4. I'm wondering if maybe these, because I'm also getting a call saying that there was vehicles involved on both sides of the Skyway.
Skyway. It's on the Skyway.
It's the same accident, but I don't know.
There's
I'm at 79 going east westbound.
There's a car underneath the semi crushed on the Skyway outbound. With the engine that flew out, I think. We'll listen to it. Hope they're okay.
Yes, that is 09847.
3211, it's going to be I-90 eastbound, or outbound. JB Hunt truck, looks like it was rear-ended. Car does look like it's stuck with the engine bay underneath the trailer. Turning around as fast as I can now. We have another one inbound. It's a Toyota Prisma Prius with, that's a separate crash it looks like.
Gonna be a separate crash. Alright, 10-4, let me separate these, I'll get you in the right one.
3rd or 4th District is coming en route. We had a couple of units on scene for the one that's going outbound with the semi-truck. I'm turning around the space now to check out that
90.
More severe.
10-4.
Right? You heard it, right? 2 separate crashes.
I-90 eastbound or outbound. JB Hunt truck looks like it was rear-ended. Car does look like it's stuck with the engine bay underneath the trailer. Turning around as fast as I can now. We have another one inbound. It's a Toyota Prisma Prius with, that's a separate crash it looks like.
Gonna be a separate crash. Alright, 10-4, let me separate these, I'll get you in the right one.
3rd or 4th District is coming en route. We had a couple of units on scene for the one that's going outbound with the semi-truck. I'm turning around the space now to check out that more severe.
10-4. I'm sorry, you're coming in, it was all feedback.
383 Charlie.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Can I get a number from the line 672, please?
Yeah, 10-4, that's 09874.
There's a tire at Mountain Luther King Drive at lane 3. That's going to be part of the crash. We're going to need someone to hold that.
10-4.
Boy.
Martin Luther King Drive. That's down. That's down by I-55. There must be multiple crashes.
Alright, 3211, I know you're pulling up. They just advised that that secondary crash with the Prius is actually going to be related. 323 is going to head over and make contact with them and see what's up.
There's got to be someone with that tire.
Alright, I think I got another car over there. I'll see if I can get him over there.
Let me check. There's another guy that does traffic.
14 and Citywide getting a batter in progress at 1300 North Milwaukee. 1300 North Milwaukee. The caller states 3 males are inside fighting with security. Nothing further. 14th District, Zone 3.
There's another guy, Ace Chicago. He does good traffic stuff.
Go ahead.
Floyd, Toyota Corolla, silver in color, Illinois. Charlie Adam 94886. Ready for the Oklahoma trailer?
Go ahead.
Oklahoma 3506, King Thomas. Take me on. 11. You got that stretcher. You ready?
Go ahead, 11.
From a portion, 3 Lincoln Victor, 466, free liner.
3 Lincoln Victor 460.
3 Lincoln Victor 466, a portion.
There's a bad accident on the Skyway outbound. A car went underneath the semi, JB Hunt semi truck. There's a secondary crash related to it, it sounds like, where the tire flew off and it hit a Prius and got in an accident. So I believe it's on the Skyway. That's what they said, right? Everybody, Skyway, right? You know, this is where we were at Friday when there was a shooting over here. Remember that? Were you guys on the video? Or no, I was off video. And I'm sitting there and I'm having a video. I just run my video just in case something happens. And I'm sitting there out here. That's the one where I went to. It was like 2 blocks away from me, man. The shooting up here by Bucktown. Yeah. That was wild, man. That was after I did the sunset video. So I was relaxed. I did my sunset video, and I relax. I do uploading, reading, right? And I hear da-da-da-da. And I go, fireworks, and bum-bum-bum-bum. And I go, man. And I went got to the scene, and you can smell the gunfire. I should have said smell the gunfire, the gun smoke, whatever it is, but you can smell it. It was wild, man. That was a wild one.
Yeah, what was their lunch at 309 for Halsted?
309 where?
Halsted.
10494. 10494. Enjoy your lunch.
383 Charlie.
83 Charlie.
Have an event number for lunch at 520 West Taylor.
10-4, enjoy your lunch. And your number is going to be 10500. 10500.
83 Frank.
83 Frank.
Any event for the Sherman by line?
10-4, take 10505, 10505.
Is that it? Did we catch up to all the radio calls that fast? No. Wow, that was fast. I don't think so. We'll go here. 6:30 news. So, we've been on the air for... We're going to be on the air for 2.5 hours. I have not heard them mention the Grant Park shooting yet. I don't think I have yet. That was a homicide in Grant Park last night. They haven't mentioned it yet. They haven't mentioned it.
3212.
Guy was riding a divvy bike.
3211, friend stuff.
I gotta get gas.
I think I'll be fine with those guys from 3. I got some solid dudes here, so I should be alright. Thank you, though. Once you can check out ambulance 55 to USC and get the information in terms of how the person's doing, their condition. I need to know that. So, if you can, 3212, could you please go to USC?
3212, did you copy?
UFC.
Ambulance 55 at University of Chicago.
Yeah, 10-4, you got it.
383 Charlie.
So that happened on the east side there, the badass.
383 Charlie.
What's up, Juan? I'm gonna get some gas here.
Go ahead and take 10283.
Red Lion Jackson, please.
Thanks, 383 John. You said Red Lion Jackson. Go ahead and take 10305. 10305.
389 boy.
89 boy.
And for Austin 2 line, please.
Absolutely.
What's
Go
up,
ahead and
brother?
take 10311. 10311.
Then I'm up here.
So we've been on the air for 2.5 hours. We're gonna put the news on now at 6:30. So we heard the 4 o'clock news, 4:30 news, 5 o'clock, 5:30 news, 6 o'clock. Now we're gonna hear the 6:30 news. I don't think we've heard once about the homicide in Grant Park last night. And you know what happened? it sounded like there was a guy on a divvy bike. As you've seen the guy today on the divvy bike, a lot of those guys are migrants in downtown, and they do a lot of stealing. They're on divvies and scooters. They steal a lot. They boost a lot. As you've seen that guy today, he was a migrant. That guy that stole the backpack was a migrant. And this is a long story, Juan. Last night, somebody on a divvy bike was murdered in Grand Park late last night at about 12:20 by guys that had flags with Puerto Rican flags in trucks. That's what happened. So it might have been a migrant murder. They might have murdered a migrant last night in Grand Park. They're not talking about that on the radio. Yes, there was a murder in Grand Park last night. The guy was riding a divvy bike.
Citywide, that's in progress, 1524 East 55th Street, 1524 55th at Barnes & Noble. Raquel said there's an older male stealing inside the Barnes & Noble store. He's wearing a black face mask, 2 different colored sandals, one red, one black, carrying a reusable tote. No weapons, no further, zone 7 clear.
Stealing from Barnes & Nobles. At least he's trying to be smart, right?
387 Adam.
Where's that at?
Citywide, that's in progress, 1524 East 55th Street.
I like that story. That's a good story.
Barnes & Noble. Raquel said there's an older male stealing inside the Barnes & Noble store. He's wearing a black face mask.
Let's record that one, right? That's a good story there. He's stealing from a bookstore, right?
Citywide, that's in progress, 1524 East 55th Street, 1524 55th at Barnes & Noble. Raquel said there's an older male stealing inside the Barnes & Noble store. He's wearing a black face mask, 2 different colored sandals, one red, one black, carrying a reusable tote. No weapons, no further, zone 7 clear.
That's a great story. I love it.
387 Adam.
All right, let's put on the radio. I'm going to stop it right here. And we're going to put on the radio and listen if they talk about the murder last night in Grand Park.
Get 25% off one item, plus 20% off the rest of your purchase. The Summer Night Sale is happening this Friday through Sunday, and only at your local Ashley.
Are you a Lego fan? Then don't miss the Brick World Lego Exposition June 20th and 21st at the Renaissance Schaumburg Hotel and Convention Center. See 125,000 square feet of amazing Lego creations, unique Lego vendors, and displays built by fans from all over the world. From the graffiti wall to the interactive city to the play brick area, Brick World Chicago has something for Lego fans of all ages. Use coupon code 2026 to save $2 on every ticket you pre-purchase at brickworld.com. Don't miss the Brick World Lego Exposition this weekend at the Renaissance Schaumburg Convention Center.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station, News Radio 105.9 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
The time now is 6:30 on Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. Good evening, I'm Glenn Marshall, and these are the top stories on News Radio, WBBM.
This is Andy Dane. Governor Pritzker puts pen to paper on a record Illinois budget.
Responsible budgeting is no longer the exception in Illinois. It is the rule.
Chicago's social media tax is bringing in more money than expected, but city leaders aren't spending it just yet. Chicago aldermen get a first look at information connected to the potential sale of the city's controversial parking meter contract. Plus, we're learning more about key demands being made by Iran as peace talks continue.
Listen if they mention the Grant Park murder.
Right now, the Sox are up 1-0 at the bottom of the second half, while the Cubs host the Rockies. That game starts at 7:05. Tonight, though, we're going to see partly to mostly cloudy skies with a low of 57 degrees. Tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, and cooler with periods of rain and a couple of heavier thunderstorms, especially from late morning on. Now, keep in mind, these storms can be severe with flashing flood, hail, damaging winds, and even a tornado. We'll see a high of 66 tomorrow. But tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with a showering spots and a low near 60 degrees. The time now is 6:31, and state leaders say a newly signed budget will help make life more affordable for Illinois families, though some in Springfield argue the opposite. WBBM's Andy Dane has the story.
Responsible budgeting is no longer the exception in Illinois. It is the rule.
Governor Pritzker says affordability was top of mind in crafting the nearly $56 billion budget for 2027.
Working families need relief, and this Illinois budget makes that possible by making housing, education, healthcare, insurance, food, and other necessities more affordable and accessible. And it puts money back into people's pockets.
It also includes pauses to the state's motor fuel tax increase, as well as sales taxes on back-to-school supplies. Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton.
In Illinois, we are doing everything we can to provide some relief and ease the pain inflicted by a president who told us just days ago that he, quote, loves the inflation. Well, you deserve better.
House Minority Leader Tony McCombie says the budget puts government growth over affordability.
He chose more spending and more pressure on family budgets instead of pursuing property tax relief, energy affordability, and economic growth.
Andy Day, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
The Johnson administration says its tax on social media companies is bringing more money than expected into the city of Chicago, but is not yet being spent. That's because those companies are suing over the tax on social media platforms with more than 500,000 active users in the city. City Policy Chief Jun Yoon told aldermen that the tax has brought in more than $16 million through the first 4 months of the year, which is about half what the project for the full year.
All smart tax revenue is deposited into the special revenue fund called the Protecting Care Fund, which will be used for expanding and sustaining public health care programs, access to mental health care, and trauma-informed services like the Crisis Assistance Response and Engagement Program known as CARE.
She says the city's not expected to use that fund for any programs until the litigation is resolved. And members of the Chicago City Council are now looking over the terms of a resale of that controversial deal to sell off the city's parking meter revenue.
Mayor Brandon Johnson says people hoping for wholesale changes in the parking meter contract may be disappointed.
It's a pretty ironclad structure.
And it includes language that gives Chicago aldermen an up or down vote on any potential sale. Far South Side Alderman Anthony Beal says he and colleagues are finally getting a look at the potential sale to the Stone Peak Private Equity Group from J.P. Morgan and its partners in Chicago Parking Meters, LLC.
We don't have much room to go through the deal itself.
But aldermen are asking questions about Stone Peak's other reported investments, including in a company that handled deportation flights for the Trump administration.
I share those concerns.
Downtown Alderman Bill Conway says he and his colleagues are preparing for a hearing at the end of the month to go over those concerns and to see what, if any, changes the city can demand. Mayor Johnson says he's taking no position on the sale.
That authority relies solely on the city council.
We're at City Hall. Jeff Buckles, News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Sean Penn will direct a film about the early life of a cop who was present for the
What a bum! What a bum! You're the leader of our city. You're supposed to be the executive. You should tell the council, this is what I want. And if they agree with you, they go with you. If they don't, they go against you. But you should show leadership. You see how he said, oh, I don't want to say no. Why? Because he's part of the scam. He knows all those companies. Those are all the developers. That's why he doesn't take a position on it. That's why. That's why he didn't sign the last budget and then went into power, right? Because he's a bum. He's hooked up with all those. Then he can say, look, I didn't go against you. Still help me be a mayor. He's a bum. He's a bum. He's a bum mayor. Did you just hear him? Oh, I don't want to deal with that. It is why didn't you say, look, if the city council, think about this, if the city council has the power to approve the contract, they can say, look at this. We want bond. Well, we're not going to approve it. Keep the deal. We don't care. We won't approve any sales. We want to alter the contract. That's the leverage you can have. If the city council, think about how scummy, what a scumbag mayor we have. We have such a scum mayor that's a thief. He's a thief, scumbag bum. Got that? And think about this. Now you know he was never part of a union. He never was there when I was there. He never did any union negotiating. Because if I'm negotiating a contract and I have the authority to approve it, guess what? I'm going to use that leverage to say, look, this is what I want. This is what I want. He doesn't even use the leverage of his office as a leader to tell the council, let's leverage our vote. The sale don't get approved unless the council approves it, right? He won't even use that power because he's part of that scumness. He's a scum, man. That's the tell. You know what a tell is, right? That tells you he's part of that scam. He wants their money to support him to be the mayor the next time. That's the scum. That's how you can tell. That's an easy one. From just that talking, right? There we go. We're going to check out these, right? What is this? This is, is this Leclerc or is this Latrobe? I forget. Let me double check. I forget all these projects. It's a project.
That's supershore.com. Paid for by Supershore Insurance Agency,
projects,
LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Got a lot of housing here, right?
Now, the lowest
ridiculous gas prices from News Radio 105.9.
Now you get what I just said about the mayor?
Ford.com, where Ford employee pricing is back. Pay the same low price employees pay.
This is Lathrop. Leclerc is on the south side. Sorry. So this is Lathrop Homes.
Gas prices in Butterfield, the mobile on Middlefield Road and Highway 53 is selling gas for $3.99 per gallon. While in Central Stickney, the BP on Central and 47 has gas for $3.89 per gallon. If you see a great price, please give us a call at 312-409-GAS. That's 312-409-4277.
Lathrop Homes, 6:37 p.m., June 16, 2026. We just heard the mayor making a deal with some developers, the groundbreaking on the south side for housing or some economic hub. It's not even housing. He keeps saying he needs more money for housing. Yet, the city of Chicago, through the CHA, owns all this housing. We just talked to a few homeless people in downtown earlier today, in the Loop, where they murdered somebody, and the news ain't talking about that murder in Grant Park. Why aren't people living in here? Why aren't we using that $1.25 billion slush fund to fix this place up? Oh, wait, I heard that the CHA has their own $1 billion slush fund. So we got about a $2 billion slush fund here in Chicago, and none of this is being fixed. Yet we have homeless black people, homeless Hispanics, homeless whites, and he's saying he needs to raise taxes, he needs to do this and this and this, yet they're not fixing any of this stuff. Maybe it's because of gentrification. Maybe it's because they don't want poor people living in this area. There you go. Look at all these apartments empty. See that there? Those are all apartments there. See that there? Look. Those are all apartments. There's maybe a couple of hundred units here. Maybe a few thousand people can live here. These are beautiful. They have courtyards there. Those are brick homes. Those are great. You just clean them out, clean the drywall out. Put some new drywall on if you want, or just leave it with bare brick, right? New people like the bare brick, clean it out, and that's it. Get rid of the roaches, the rats, and you're done. This all has central heating. They might have ripped out all the pipe in here. I watched guys ripping out the piping a few years ago. But there you go, right? Look at all the housing that's empty here. Look at it. 3 years in power. The man's been 3 years in power, and he's breaking ground on scam business hubs. A scam artist. He's a scam artist. That's what Brandon is. He gets his money from the developers and the gentrifiers. He gets his money from Sterling Bay. He gets his money from CBRE, from other scam artists that he can play the white guilt trip on. He says, give me a bunch of money. We're going to build some fake businesses in the black neighborhoods, and I'll let you develop the land up here, the 78 Lincoln Yards, you name it, right? That's what he does. Look at this. This is all empty here, right? Why ain't this fixed? 3 years in power. 3 years this man's been in power. Why? Why doesn't he fix this? Because why? He doesn't want black people to live here. He don't want Puerto Ricans to live here. He don't want Mexicans to live here. He don't want poor whites to live here. He don't want them. He wants this to be gentrified. He wants liberals to live here. Ultra liberals he wants to live here. You'll see 10 years from this date. Mark this video. 10 years from this date. I have videos that go back 20 years. I'm going to pull out and show you. 10 years from the date of today. What's today's date? There's the date. The 16th of June, 2026. So in 3036, June 16, 3036, I bet you this is filled of liberals. You want to bet there'll be no poor person living here. There might be some blacks living in here. There might be some Hispanics here, but it's going to change. See that there? Look at both sides there. Look at that. See that there? Why isn't this fixed? 3 years in power. 3 years. Imagine if I wanted to help. I'm Slovak, and I said I'm going to help all the homeless Slovaks or the Bohemians or Eastern Europeans. I'd say, oh man, there's a big building there. We're going to fix that and put all the damn Bohemians in there. I don't want to hear nothing about Bohemians. I don't want to hear the Bohemians saying I'm a bad dude. I put all the Bohemians in here. That's it. Let's call this Bohemian housing or whatever you want to call it. Why didn't the man fix this? Why we got all those black people hooked up on drugs, right, in downtown, homeless, Sleeping on Laura Wacker, sleeping on trains. We just talked to a lady today. She sleeps on the train. Huh? Why hasn't he fixed this? 3 years in power. Imagine it. How many billions of dollars has that guy wasted? You know why? Because he don't care about black people. Here, you want to see it? I'm not making this up. I'll show you right here. It's written in graffiti. You want to see the graffiti? Look at this. The graffiti says it alone right there. Watch. You want to see the graffiti right here? That's going to be my picture for tomorrow. Right? There you go. You want to see the graffiti? I'll show you the graffiti right here. You guys want to see it? There you go. I'll show you this, right? We're going to read it for you. Look at this. You want to see it right there? You want to see what that says? It says, they don't care about you, only their wallets. I didn't write that. How come somebody wrote that there? See that there? You want to see that close up? You want me to zoom in for you? Look at that. Look at what it says there. Huh? There you go. The residents know what's going on. What did I tell you yesterday on my video? Why don't they want poor black people? I think I said it today. Why don't they want poor black people in Chicago? Because they know how they've been ripped off. Why don't they want poor Mexicans or Hispanics in Chicago? Because they know how they've been ripped off. Why don't they want poor people in Chicago? Because they know who rips them off. There you go. There's the sign right there. You want to see this? On this other camera? Look at this. There you go. They don't care about you. Only about their wallets. See that there? You want to see this one here? There's another saying right here. Right? Oh, that talks about ICE there. See that there? Huh? Look at all these beautiful homes. Right? They could have put the migrants in here. I already told you about my plan, what they should have did, right? They could have told the migrants, you got to fix these homes and you stay in the country then, right? See that there? Look at all these homes. We're going to keep trying. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. There's still more here. You want that? We're not even done with the projects yet. See that there? Look. Look at that. Why hasn't the black mayor fixed this place where there was a lot of Puerto Ricans here and black people lived here? Why hasn't he fixed this? Why hasn't he fixed this? Why do we see all these black middle-aged people living on the streets and on trains? Why isn't this fixed? Why isn't this housing that we own, the city of Chicago owns this? We don't have to buy it. We don't pay taxes on it. We don't pay anything on this. Why don't we fix this? Why don't we tell, like, these developers, give us the money so we can fix this, right? Why don't we use that surplus CHA money to fix this? Why don't we use all that surplus money that the mayor has to fix this, right? Why hasn't this been fixed? Why hasn't this been fixed? It's 3 years now. 3 years. And all that man says is we don't have housing. And look at all this housing here. I bet you'll see. Come back here in 10 years. Come back in 2036. You'll see the difference here. Who lives here? We're going to turn right here so I can show you. This is a big block. This is not a small place. Ready? Let me show you this, right? All right. Look at how big that is. Did you see how far we went? You see how big of a project this is? This is huge. This is hundreds of homes here. This is hundreds of units. Hundreds, not dozens. This is hundreds of units. It's got courtyards, it's got everything. Look at that. Look at that. Why does it sit empty 3 years later? Why? Because the mayor's a scam artist. He steals and he's a thief. And he don't care about black people. Because if he cared about black people, that'd be fixed and it'd be a bunch of black families living in there. They don't want black people there. They're gonna put other people in there. SubX.News. Oh, you guys just seen that, didn't you? Huh? Why is that empty there, huh? There you go. Ms. Zedor's like, wow, that was a lot of housing. 3 years in power. And this place is still abandoned. How come? How come this guy is spending our city money building scam development projects And he isn't fixing the buildings that we own, that the city of Chicago owns. Maybe it's because he wants to push the black people and poor people out of our city. What do you think about that one? 6:30 p.m., June 16th, 2026. You just seen all that housing, right?
Tomorrow, hockey, some sad news.
Am I making it up?
How Calder has died suddenly after a short illness. Calder was only 47 years old. John Tortorella will not return as head coach of Vegas. And in the AHL Calder Cup Finals Game 3 at Toronto. Tonight, the Wolves trail the series 2 games to none. WNBA, Sky and Liberty tomorrow night. I'm Mike Esposito from 104.3 The Score and News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Thanks a lot, Mike. And at 6:48, traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by Village of Bedford Park. Here's Abby Ryan.
Right now, Glen Eden's inbound, heavy from Peterson to Skokie, 20 coming in from Lake Hook to the Kennedy Junction. Kennedy outbound, 16 to Montrose and 30 out to the airport. Inbound, 45 O'Hare to downtown. Heavy spots Canfield to Ohio. The Eisenhower out. 20 to Manheim, 38 to I-90 inbound, 53 I-90 in, 30 coming in from Manheim, the Stevenson outbound, 34 Mid-Bride to 294, 45 to 355, heavy past the Ryan to Cicero, and 83 to Cass, inbound 42, 355 to Sabo Lakeshore Drive, heavy Lamont to 294, first to before Central, I-55 Will County
nice
southbound,
spot.
heavy spots, 355
It's the first
Weber,
place I took wood from 3 years ago. What do you think? Who do you think he wants to move into those Lake Trub homes?
57 outbound, 17.
You're gonna look. You're gonna
Ryan past Halstead.
You're gonna see right in front of you who's gonna live in there. Who's gonna get first dibs? Did you see Jamal Green's post that they won't give you loans unless if you have a certain amount of debt? Think about this. You think those guys have the debt to qualify for those loans right in front of you? There you go. Do you understand the picture here? Look at Jamal Green's post. He says if you have a certain amount of debt, they won't give you even a city loan no more. Well, who do you think has low debt? It's debt to ownership or something ratio. Jamal talks about it. Jamal's a smart man. Jamal knows what he's doing. He knows what's happening, and he's trying to fight it from the private side, saying he's trying to fight the ripping people off and kicking poor people out of the city by his own way, by force. He's doing it on his own. You know why? Because the poor people won't be able to get those apartments because they won't qualify. But who will? You're looking at him right in front of you. That guy right there. He's going to look. You want to see how those apartments look from this side? I'll show you. You tell me. Look at all those people. They're going to be the first dibs on those apartments. You want to see? Look. Watch this. There's a guy in back of me. You want to see those apartments? Look at this. Look at that. It's right on the river, man. They got a river walk and boat dock and everything here. Look at that. That's all those apartments right across from me. Look at that. You want to see that? You want to live in there? Damn right I want to live in there. My debt ratio is about 80% or 90 to your income. That's what it goes. Debt ratio to income. I'm at I got that much on that card, that much on that card. My student loans and my IRS debt. I'm at about $200,000 in debt, and I make about what on Facebook? I make how much? $900 a month. What's the debt ratio there? Who's good in math? Hey, where's Sal at? Hey Sal, you're good in math, ain't you? What's my debt ratio if I make $900 a month off of Facebook? Let's say I make $1,000 a month on Facebook. It goes up and down. Let's say I make $1,000 a month on Facebook, right? And I'm what did I say? It's 40, 40, 60, that's 140, and another 25, that's 165. I might have some other debt. Let's say I'm at 165 in debt. What's my debt ratio towards income if I make $1,000 a month and I owe $165,000? Huh? You think I'll qualify for that? Absolutely not. I won't. You got to look at what they do. They do it by their policy. Racism and classism and elitism doesn't work by saying stuff. That's fake, right? I say you're this or I do this. It's racism, right? It's individual racism. When you want to wipe out a whole class of people, that's what you do there. You see that there? It's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. It's not hiding. They don't hide them. I told you, the CTU people that I know, they don't hide what they do. They do the theft right in front of you. They steal right in front of you. That's what they do. I just showed you how many apartments, right? Look at that. That's a beautiful apartment there, right?
To end the war quickly, the Trump administration will allow Iran to immediately begin selling oil and petrochemicals on the open market after it signs this Friday's interim peace agreement. The lifting of all sanctions on oil will also extend to banking, transportation, and insurance needs for Iran. And that sent oil plunging to $76 a barrel today. But there were some jitters about a Federal Reserve decision on interest rates tomorrow. And although no change is expected at the close, the Dow was up 329 points, 0.2% at a fresh record high. The Nasdaq lost 308.
That's a beautiful building. How many families can live in that place?
Chip makers. The S&P lost 43. New home construction in May falling by more than 15% from April to the slowest pace since 2020, the heart of the COVID lockdowns. And Wyoming has just become the first state to issue its own cryptocurrency, saying it plans to use the money generated for public schools. With business at 23 and 53 from the Bloomberg Newsroom.
And there'll be condos there.
6:37 p.m.
Remember what they did at Cabrini Green? They said you can't live together. Too many people in one spot. And what did they do? They tore down Cabrini and put up condos, high rises. Right? Remember that one?
About AI-generated images appearing to show the couple's wedding, Holland replied, quote, no, because they were all there. He quickly added, that's all you get on that, end quote. Holland also gushed about Zendaya in the interview, saying he has found this person and has never felt so supported. The two first
all right, let's get out of here, right? It's almost 7 o'clock. I haven't figured out.
The time now is 6.
Maybe I'll end up here or something.
It's game day tonight.
And then we'll find a sunset place. But you got to look at all these things as a holistic thing. Because look, we're used to fighting on our own. We're used to struggling, right? And then we're tribal a little bit. We're family a little bit, right? We protect ourselves, our families, our tribes, our neighborhoods, our communities, and our cities. So when they divide us, saying you're LGBTQ, you're black, you're Mexican, you're an immigrant, you're Honduran, you're poor, you're north, you're south, you're east, you're a GD, you're a BD, you're an outlaw, you're a gangster, you're this and this. It's all separation politics, right? That's all separation. And then when you look at it, you say, wait, how come I can't live in that building there? How come that building isn't used? Look at how big that place is. It's what, 3 blocks long? You want to see? I'll show you at the end how long that is. That building that's 3 blocks. 3 blocks by a block. You know how many people can live there? A lot. A lot. They could have had all those migrants fixing that place up. You say you want to live in our country? Here, you fix that up. How much you paying me? You're going to get a free place to stay and you're going to get some food. That's what you're going to get paid. And if you work here and don't do drugs and don't get arrested, guess what? We might let you stay here temporarily. We might. Oh, man, look at all that wood there. Oh, man, is that any good stuff? It's so-so. It's thin. That's too thin. Yeah, that's kind of not good wood there. Yeah, that's not... I had a big truck maybe. That's just firewood there, man. You have a big bonfire with that. Look at how big that place is. Divide and conquer. You know it, Yvette. But one more time, and I'm sorry to keep repeating myself. That's just the way I am. I'm a teacher. That's how I talk. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna go outside. How about that? I don't know. My other phone is jacked up right now, right? We're gonna take my other phone on here and I'll just videotape it right with my other phone and talk. Look at this. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this looks. I gotta beep my car so no one rips me off, right? They don't carjack me right out here. Let me put my alarm on so they don't carjack my car, right? Hold on, let me beep it, right? That way I can relax in time. And this will be our 7 o'clock stop, right? Where's my beeper at? There we go. I got my beeper, right? And I always have 2, right? My car is running, but it's beeped, right? So they can't steal it. You can even make it. If you get a good mechanic, he can You can click it, and if they go in, it'll turn off. So that way it's frozen. It's called bricking your car. You can brick your car that way. A certain way you can. If you get a good guy that knows how to do what he's doing, he can do it. So my car is running, because in the off-roading, when I go into winter and it's cold out, you want your car to stay running. You don't want the battery to go out. So we always, in the off-roading world, you have your car keys, 2 sets, and you leave your car running and you click it. That way no one can get in and do whatever. In the woods, no one does it, but now I'm in the city, so no one can go in. But you can do a sophisticated thing where you can click it and the guy opens it, it bricks, and they can't move. That's how the Teslas are, actually. So there we go. That's enough of that car security. Let's talk about this, and then we'll end our video here, right? And it's 6:58. We might listen to the 7 o'clock news real quick and see if they talk about. No one's talked about that homicide in Grand Park, right? 6:58 p.m. June 16th, 2026. You're looking at the Lathrop Homes projects. The city of Chicago owns all of those buildings. It's right on the river. It's a beautiful spot. Those are very sturdy structures. That's brick built during the atomic age, after the atomic age stuff. So that's meant to last. You clean out the drywall, you clean out the wood, you fumigate. You can even leave the brick exposed like they do nowadays, and you have a beautiful place to live. Think about this. Why hasn't the mayor fixed that? He's 3 years in power. He hasn't fixed that at all, has he? Look at that. Look how big that is. How many families can live in that place? How many families can live in that place? Isn't that a lot? And guess what? Did I tell you? We own that already. We don't pay taxes on it. That's ours. We own it. Yeah. There you go. Huh? That's pretty wild, ain't it? Got that? That's the scam. Let's just send 7 o'clock news and then we'll call it a night, right? I got this security guard here watching me. They got all this security here, man. They don't watch the criminals that are stealing our tax dollars, though, do they? There's a lot of property here, huh? All right, let's listen to radio.
At the bottom of the third, AccuWeather's letting us know that we'll have a low of 57 degrees tonight, while tomorrow we'll see periods of rain and thunderstorms. We'll have a high of 66 and a low of 60. It's 69 degrees right now.
And you always keep your key on your neck.
I'm Dave Packer. A shooting on the grounds of Delaware's Wilmington Hospital this afternoon has turned deadly. Law enforcement officials say it seems a hospital employee shot 2 other employees. One of them is dead. Police Chief Wilfredo Campos.
The suspect is outstanding at this time, and we are actively working to identify, confirm his identity, and locate him.
A lockdown has been lifted. Revealed by the FBI, an alleged plot targeting President Trump's birthday UFC event on the White House South Lawn. ABC News Chief Justice correspondent Peter Thomas has the latest.
Authorities say it was a chilling plot, allegedly involving explosive-laden drones and snipers meant to shoot politicians and wealthy people, force a mass evacuation, and spark chaos across the nation's capital. 5 people now under arrest. It was a serious threat. 19-year-old Tyson Popper from Knox County, Ohio, charged with conspiring against the United States and attempted murder. Authorities say rifle and tactical gear among multiple weapons seized from his home.
At the G7 summit in France, President Trump saying the memorandum of understanding reached between the U.S. and Iran to end the war is, in his words, a fair and good deal. Next step would be negotiating Iran's nuclear program with a 60-day negotiating window.
How many families can live in this place? Why hasn't the mayor let them live here? Why does he lock people out of Chicago housing?
Vice President J.D. Vance said that Trump could release the text of the memorandum of understanding as soon as tomorrow. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine says he believes his state should abolish the death penalty.
I no longer believe the death penalty is a deterrent to murder. The moral justification I had for voting for the death penalty simply no longer exists.
And the death penalty hasn't been used in Ohio in quite some time. The last time that Ohio put an inmate to death was in July of 2018. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm John Morgan. There are many reasons to hire Morgan & Morgan for your injury case. Reason number 3. First, all lawyers are not the same. If my family had an injury case...
So remember, the reason I'm listening to the news and I haven't turned off the broadcast. We listen to the 4 o'clock news. We listen to the 4:30 news, the 5 o'clock, the 5:30, the 6 o'clock, the 6:30. This is the 7th newscast we're listening to. Tell me if they talk about the murder in Grand Park. Listen. Listen if they talk about the murder in Grand Park last night. Listen.
We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. We won a lot. 30 billion and counting. Morgan & Morgan, or thepeople.com. Who would I hire? I'd hire us. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, 332 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago.
Chicago's news, traffic, and weather station. News Radio 1059 and WBBMNewsRadio.com.
The time now is 7:03 on Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. Good evening, I'm Glenn Marshall, and currently we're sitting under partly sunny skies. It's about 68 degrees here in Chicago. Tonight will be partly to mostly cloudy with a low of 57 degrees. Tomorrow will be cloudy, breezy, and cooler with periods of rain and a couple of heavier thunderstorms, especially from late morning on. Now, storms can be severe with flash flooding, hail, damaging winds, and even a tornado. High tomorrow of only 66 degrees, but tomorrow night mostly cloudy with a shower in spots, low near 60 degrees. Of course, we're going to look at that AccuWeather 5-day forecast at 7:15, but right now our top local story on News Radio WBBM starts now. A busy stretch of Uptown was the scene of 2 shootings last night. WBBM's Nancy Hardy reports that one shooting left a 63-year-old man dead and others involved police officers.
Corey Haynes was watching TV in his apartment when he was jolted by a sound.
I've never really heard a gunshot, even in Chicago, so I was a little like, so yeah, then I saw a guy running, and they're like, he had the gun in his right hand, and then the cops are like, stop or we'll shoot, and he turned, and then boom, boom, I heard a couple booms, and that was it.
Police say officers responding to a deadly shooting near Lawrence and Clark just before 8:30 chased the suspect as he was running here near Argyle and Jansen. Police say he turned his gun towards them and they shot him. He went to the hospital in critical condition. Police say they recovered a weapon. 3 officers have been assigned desk duty as COPA investigates. In Uptown, Nancy Hardy, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Chicago police say they've made an arrest in connection to a disturbing discovery in Grant Park last week.
Chicago fire officials responded near Columbus and Balboa Drives last Tuesday afternoon and found a burning cross. Surveillance photos were released of a suspect fleeing the scene, described by Chicago police as a person of interest. Authorities now say an arrest has been made, though no formal charges have been announced. It comes after Channel 5 released an interview with a man who claims responsibility for the incident. He says the burning cross was not intended to be a hate crime of any kind, but instead a condemnation of President Trump and what he calls MAGA Christian nationalist supporters and the ruling class. He also claims he did not know burning crosses are often linked to racial hatred. Andy Day, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
Chicago police say they've made an arrest in connection to a disturbing discovery in Grant Park last week. We just read that. Let's talk about this, though. A Markham man has been sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for operating an online chat group that shared large amounts of child pornography. 46-year-old Christopher Martin pleaded guilty earlier this year to moderating the PIC chat and enforcing rules. He admitted to pressuring chat users to constantly share photos and videos of child pornography or face removal from the group. This week, a judge sentenced him to 33 years and 9 months in federal prison. And after decades of serving families in the Evergreen Park, a Catholic elementary school has announced that it will not reopen for the next school year.
Queen of Martyrs School will close this fall after the Archdiocese of Chicago says the school faces declining enrollment, making it difficult to sustain operations for another year. Enrollment was expected to drop to about 140 students for the upcoming school year, down from 178 this past school year and more than 325 students in 2016, according to the Archdiocese. The school says it is committed to helping families identify nearby schools and assisting with the transition as much as possible. Carolina Garibay, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
A cash reward is being offered to help police catch the vandal who defaced a mural honoring fallen CPD officers.
Cook County Crime Stoppers is behind the $1,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the person or persons who spray painted graffiti over part of the mural, which is located in the 6800 block of South Pulaski in the West Lawn neighborhood. The mural includes depictions of officers Luis Huesca, Andres Vasquez Lasso, and Enrique Martinez, who were all killed in the line of duty. Crime Stoppers says tips can be submitted anonymously by calling 1-800-535-STOP or online at cpdtip.com. My Martinez, News Radio 1059 WBBM.
4 fluffy plover chicks have hatched at Montrose Beach. Their parents are Sea Rocket and Imani, and the babies are descendants of the famed plovers Monty and Rose. It may be tempting to go see them scuttling around, but bird experts warn that observers should keep their distance and keep their trash to a minimum. For now, the unnamed chicks will stay close to mom and dad. The time now is 7:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, sponsored by Four Seasons, heating, air conditioning, plumbing, sewer, and electric. We got a new crash on I-55. Here to explain is Abby Ryan.
Well, I-55, if you're on the southbound side in Will County, jammed 355 to a 453. Crash blocks the right lane. Also, if you're on the Stevenson, headed on the outbound side, you're clear inbound. Heavy from First to before Central, 30, 355 in 22, coming in from 294. Eden's outbound clear, inbound a 20-minute ride. Heavy Peterson to the Kennedy Junction. You're on the outbound side of the Kennedy, heavy from the Jane Byrne interchange to Ohio, Nagel to Harlem, 14 to Montrose, 22 to the airport. Inbound heavy spots from Harlem to before Ohio, 40 O'Hare in, 24 coming in from the Eden's Junction. It is tight passing the Wintrust mural at North Avenue. Eisenhower out clear, inbound 46, I-90 into downtown, 28 coming in from Manheim to the Jane Byrne interchange, heavy past Manheim to Harlem. Stevenson outbound clear, again inbound heavy First to before Central at 30, 355 in. Dan Ryan 12 out clear, inbound 17 heavy from Canalport to the Jane Byrne interchange. I-57 looks great. Bishop Ford outbound 22 out to 8094 solid 115 to Bobby and Woods. DuSable Lakeshore Drive northbound heavy past Fullerton to Belmont. Cubs traffic, that game started 4 minutes ago. Southbound heavy approaching the lighted Chicago Avenue Tri-State. That is slow southbound Cermak toll to Ogden, I-80 past Halstead, 88 eastbound, heavy York to the northbound Tri-State ramp, Route 53 back to normal, I-80 eastbound, heavy Kedzie to 294, 8094 looks good, I-65 southbound, that's heavy past State Road 10, Roselawn, cleanup of an earlier crash, blocking your left lane. Traffic is sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, Sewer, and Electric. Now is the time to schedule your Four Seasons AC tune-up back by a 1 year.
Alrighty, well that's it. That's all we have for this segment. We might go back on live, we might not. We don't know what happens. We'll see how it goes. I think the main thing that we learned today is a couple of things. One, the news actively covered up a crime in downtown Chicago. Actively covered up a crime in downtown Chicago. There was a homicide yesterday in the middle of Grant Park. A guy on a divvy bike. And as we showed you earlier, we think that guy might have been a migrant or some other kind of a thing, whatever he was doing downtown. We don't know what that was about. As you've seen, there was a guy on a divvy who stole somebody's backpack today. And he dumped it out in the middle of the McDonald's where what? A drug dealer is, oh no, he wasn't a drug dealer. He had warrants that got arrested. We've seen that. We've seen that all play out. There was a little bit of a problem with the video, but that's what we've seen today. That's the first scene we've seen. We've seen someone get arrested who had multiple warrants, shouldn't have been on a CTA. When they switched guys, when they removed him, another guy came to take over the spot, right? So imagine a guy with warrants, active warrants somewhere is in the middle of downtown Chicago. Why are you doing that? It's a strange thing. So another guy takes over a spot. A guy on a divvy comes and dumps out a backpack and sells it to the guy. And they leave, right? And then we seen all the dump stuff. We interviewed somebody whose son was murdered. Then we drove around a little bit. We seen some other things. And then we came here and we see this empty, abandoned place, right? While the mayor is on the radio and on TV saying, I need more money, I need housing. And we're here and we're showing you a couple of hundred units that haven't been fixed in 3 years. But the main thing you heard is what? You didn't hear the talk about a murder in Grant Park. That's the biggest story out of today. The news has a blackout. It's called a blackout, right? They're refusing to report it. Why? Because that's the center of the tourist thing, and they're trying to get the tourist money. They're trying. But when tourists get murdered, when tourists get beat up, when tourists get robbed, which that's happening in downtown, you think they're going to come here when they hear there's murders downtown when in the middle of the night? I don't think they are. And that's why they blocked the news. So you heard that today. That's all we have at 7:12 p.m. SubX News on the spot reporting. If something comes up, we'll report it. We'll try to, like we did yesterday. We try to do our best. We're a little bit blocked by the police department, but it doesn't matter. We never were part of the police department. We don't want to be part of the police department. We don't want to have a connection to the police department. We didn't have it before. And we don't need it. We got lazy when we did that because then we can get the reports internally. Now we have to get everything on our own through the scanner feeds and other ways. And that's the way life should be. We shouldn't be connected to anybody who want to be independent. I appreciate everybody listening. SubX News is signing off. It is now 7:12 p.m. It is June 16, 2026. Thank you for watching. You're watching a housing project across the river that's not been fixed. That's what you're watching. That's a housing project that we own, and it hasn't been fixed. Have a good night. Thank you very much for watching. SubX News signing off.